but it can happen. What you're saying is that if that is the case, then literally anybody at all can choose to be somebody that they're not, or that they are not assigned to, or whatnot. They can use whatever restroom. I can go to the women's restroom.
Yeah, so I would define a woman as one of two things, but I think like the first definition would be the best fitting for this example, right?
Sure.
So I would define a woman as like an adult individual that would align with like societal characteristics, norms, or stereotypes typically associated with females, right? So if like you were telling me that you're a woman, but yet you don't align with any of these norms because you are masculine presenting in
But
all
how do you
regards
know that? How are you going
whatsoever.
to tell me that though?
Wait, how do I know that? I mean,
Yeah, like
are you
yeah, yeah.
telling me
How
that
like
are you telling me that you would look like feminine and that you do align with like these soci like with these
no,
social
no, no. But
statuses?
who are you to tell me that I'm not a woman?
I mean,
I
I'm
choose to
asking
be a
you, are
woman. No,
you?
no, no, no. I'm asking you how are you telling me that I'm not a woman?
Wait, I'm asking you if you do not align with these societal norms.
It
Do you
doesn't
or do you
matter.
not?
I'm asking
Yes, it
you.
does. Well, it
No,
does
no,
matter
no, no,
because
it
if you don't,
doesn't
then you're not a woman.
because there are plenty of men that are choosing to be women and they want to be presenting as women no matter how masculine they look. But
Wait,
the
first of all,
worldview
you
that you
can't choose your
hold is
gender
that you should.
identity. You can't choose your gender identity, right? So a
No,
gender
no.
identity is going to be innate to your neural. I'm going to go ahead and explain this, right? So we observe like gender identity being rooted within one's neurology, right? So what we see is like different parts of the brain that are sexually dimorphic, right? So we would observe like the BNST subsection of the hypothalamus, or like traits of like the variation of gray matter and within the puttamins being indicative of one's gender identity. And basically, like what we would say here is that you wouldn't be a woman unless you would possess these certain characteristics within the hypothalamus, right?
Sure.
So like I'd be able to just tell you that you're a woman on that notion. So yeah,
Right,
this is why
right.
you
But
shouldn't
are
be
you
able to go
gonna
into the women's restroom.
Okay, okay, sure. But are you gonna pull up my medical records?
Are you well now you're just talking about like pragmatic issues, right?
No, no,
Empirical
no.
issues.
These are very real issues. They are not
Well,
as
yeah.
pragmatic as you think that they're
The way
relevant.
that's a definition, that's a definition of pragmatic issues. So if you're talking about like empirical issues, right? Of like, oh, how do we verify if someone's a woman or a man, right? Well,
Right, but what I'm saying is like okay, if you were to look at me, never seen me before, and I told you that I was a woman, are you gonna tell me that I'm not a woman? Are you gonna
uh,
assume that I'm not a woman? Like that goes against everything that you like this group
well,
holds
yeah,
dear.
unless you had like the neurology typically associated with like the female
But
sex,
my
you wouldn't be a
question
woman.
is that how would you know? You can't tell me that I'm not a woman.
Oh yeah, well what we're gonna see is that we're often going to like delineate like women to be individuals to like delineate themselves as women if they actually are women, right? Because they're gonna have like social norms and stereotypes that are typically associated with females, right? But I don't see how like you're using this as a counter argument against my notion when you couldn't tell me if Hugh Jackman should be able to use which bathroom Hugh Jackman should be able to go into, right? Because basically under your worldview, like who are you to tell me that I don't have a vagina? If I walked up to you right now and said that I want to go into the women's restroom because I have a vagina, are you going to tell me that I shouldn't be able to? Or are you going to look into
You
my
just
pants?
proved my point. You just proved my point, dude. That's
How's that?
exactly what I'm trying to say. Like like anybody can go into a women's restroom if they so choose to.
Well,
Because
this is going to be a bigger issue. This is going to be a bigger issue under your worldview, right? Because like once again, typically under my definition of the woman, what it takes is going to be like alignment with characteristics typically associated with women, right? So if this individual doesn't
typically,
yeah, typically, right? So if like individuals like don't align themselves with like these social characteristics that are associated with females, I don't even know what they would be saying when they had identified themselves as a woman. Like I'd simply
okay,
just ask that
so
individual,
very
"What's a
obvious.
woman?"
Okay, so can you agree that there's women out there that are lesbian that obviously are much more masculine?
And like in some senses, of course.
I mean, of course there are. But what I'm saying is that like those women are very masculine presenting, and they can choose to go into the women's bathroom because they're women, right? But they're
Right.
very masculine presenting. So why don't they go to the men's bathroom? Why
Wait, they
why
go into
wouldn't
the
they, why
women's
wouldn't they be
they go
allowed
into the
to?
women's bathroom because they have the gender identity of a woman, which is going to be rooted within your
Right, right, right,
neurology.
right, right. But
I mean,
you're missing my point. Is why
no,
would they
that's
not
in
be
it's root
allowed to go to the men's bathroom if
because
if
they're a
they're
woman.
presenting as masculine?
Yeah, because what your gender identity is not like denoted upon what you present as, but rather your
But you
neurology.
cannot prove that.
Tim, I appreciate. Wait, you cannot prove neurology? Yes, you can. EEGs, MRIs,
Yeah,
fMRIs,
sure. Go
etc.
ahead. Go look at my medical records. Yeah, sure. Pull up my medical records and tell me I can't go to the bathroom. That's gonna take like months, a
Well,
week.
Pay, and I don't understand what your issue is, because now like you're saying that like I somehow have some issue in my stance, because I'm not giving you like a congruent definition of like how I would define woman, but that's not true at all, right? And then
No, no,
and
no,
then
no. I'm using what you're saying as defining a woman is that you can't define them. It's anybody who wants to be a woman. That's your
Wait,
definition of being a woman. Anybody who
no,
feels that they
my definition of a woman is an individual who would possess like the neurological aspects typically associated with females, or to be expected that of females.
so okay, so to go back, so that's your main definition, right? That's your only definition of being
Yes.
a woman. So I've listened to some of these lies, and it's people that are saying a woman is somebody who believes that they are a woman. Anybody who chooses to be a woman.
Okay, that's a shit
A very
definition of a
very
woman.
similar stance to what you have,
No, it's not at all.
but it's more
Right.
common than not what people have
Once
in
again,
this
I would go
community.
ahead and I would go ahead and define woman, right, as an adult human, right, with the neurology that is typical that of
Sure.
females, right? We could talk about like specific subsections of the hypothalamus. We could talk about like the variations of like gray mass in the putamen, right? We could talk about like the various regions of the brain
Sure.
and how they'd correlate and be sexually dimorphic, right? And what we would typically observe is within trans women who are biological men, or sorry, biological males, they would possess like those neurological attributes that are typically associated with females, right? So this is how like we would like
Sure.
determine or like determine like what a man is or what a woman was is it's all dependent upon the neurology because the neurology is going to be indicative of one's gender identity.
I completely agree with you. I do not disagree with you whatsoever. But
Okay,
what
so you
my
think trans
point,
women should be able to use
whole
a, so
point
if
is,
you agree with me, then would you say that a trans woman that possesses these neurological means should be able to go into the women's restroom?
no, I don't. I agree
Okay,
with
so
the
you don't
fact
agree
that
with
you
me.
think that I agree with the fact that I agree with that it's very much neurology based. I don't agree on where they should be using the bathroom.
Yeah, right. And then if you're saying it should be based off upon what's in between their legs, right? Well, we showed obvious absurdities within this. Like, I don't think that saying like trans men should use the women's restroom is going to be indicative of a situation, and which would be like, like in the best interests of women, right? Like, I would if I was a
Right.
woman,
So
I
okay.
would be
So
uncomfortable. Can I finish? If I was a woman, I would be uncomfortable if there's a trans man in in my bathroom, right? I mean,
are you
if you
saying
had
as
like
like
a
an
3-year-old,
example?
yeah, if you had like a 3-year-old daughter, would you be comfortable with like one of the trans men that I showed on screen, like going into the bathroom with her? Really?
Well, first off, if she was 3, I'd be in there with her, or she'd be in the bathroom
Um,
that I was in. She's if she's 3.
yeah, 3, 4. You could just choose an age where you wouldn't be going into the bathroom with her, but she's still young.
Okay. Obviously, I would. It really wouldn't matter because anybody that's going into a woman's restroom was born with what they had,
Yeah, but
like what
what
they
we're
were.
obviously gonna see is that no, you don't need a penis to like assault like an in like a woman, right? Like we would still observe like situations and which would make women uncomfortable just because there's an individual who's extremely like masculine, right? And identifies as a man,
Sure.
right? It's like and like I'm assuming like your world view under this, right? Like just for like
Okay.
this isn't going to be an internal critique of of your worldview. Like this is a trans man, even though you don't think it's a man, it's a trans man who is more
Okay.
masculine presenting than yourself and I. Right? This individual is going to make women really uncomfortable if they were to go into women's spaces.
Sure. So are you saying that like I would think that?
Yeah, and you think that this individual should use the women's restroom. And like the earlier issues that you brought up about how do we like validify if an individual's a man or a woman, and then you were like bringing up these empirical issues about like, oh, under my stance, we can't test for someone's neurology. Well, that's not necessarily what we're talking about, right? Because we're talking about what we should and shouldn't do. So if someone does something that's bad, and like, let's say I just said tomorrow, I'm a woman to go into the women's restroom and be a creep, that'd be fucked up, right? So we're
Of
more
course,
so talking about what we
absolutely.
should do, right? So that's gonna be like an issue that's not related to how we should act, and all we're talking about
Right,
right now is
right,
how
but
we should act. And you're saying
right. But
that
what I'm
those
saying is
trans
that
men
if
should go into the women's restroom.
no, so exactly what you were just saying with if you dressed up tomorrow and put on a dress and was like, I want to be a woman today, and you go in the woman's bathroom, you creep, obviously that's a bad thing. But
Right.
what I'm saying is that eradicating that possibility entirely is allowing women that were born with vaginas and men born with penises to go in that designated bathroom. That's how you alleviate that completely.
Oh wait, no, not necessarily. What if a trans man wanted to be a creep? Well, then he'd just have the ticket
Wait,
right
wait.
into the women's restroom.
No, that's
Are you saying
that's
that you
my
need a penis
that's
to be
my
a
point
creep?
exact.
Are you saying that you need a
A
penis
trans
to be
man would
free?
not be allowed
Then
to
also,
go.
then also, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have like P and V checkers at like at every bathroom? Are we gonna like have to make sure have a doctor like sitting in a little entrance room to all public restrooms to verify if an individual has a vagina or a penis? See, what I think is going to
Well,
be the
by the
best
example
solution.
that I was
What
giving,
I
you're
think is
saying.
going to be the 1 second. What I think is going to be like the best solution to any of this is going to be like gender neutral single stall restrooms, right? So these are going to be like regular restrooms but
So a
with
third
single
restroom.
stalls. No. Like I think all restrooms, like women and like men and women's restrooms should be eradicated, right? I think what the system in which we should use to replace them is going to be gender neutral restrooms, with like single stalls.
Okay, so do you think that, okay, I don't, okay, that's, let's say it's at a gym, right? Okay, let's men's, women, it's a gender neutral bathroom, right? You go to a Planet Fitness or some crappy gym, whatever, that has like showers and stuff. Like, how do you separate that?
Well, the same way that they would in like my college, for example, the bathrooms are in the, like the showers are in the single stalls.
Right, right. But if you go to any like Planet Fitness or whatever, there's gonna be old like men that are just like there's be people that are just like naked within the locker rooms. It just happens. So you really
Okay,
want
like
like
within the locker
gr-
room. Yeah, why shouldn't they be able to? Why shouldn't trans women be able to go into a women's locker room?
no. I was going off of the fact that you were saying that it should be a genderless bathroom.
Oh, well, yeah, like under like my worldview, like the individual, like there wouldn't be like a common area. It'd just be like individual stalls. I think this is the way it's structured at my college. It's actually pretty nice. It's more comfortable. You actually feel safer. You feel like more secluded. It's your own space. It's actually
Well,
pretty sweet.
that's your point of view as a man. Like you can't say that as like a woman.
Oh yeah, this is gonna make women feel safer as well.
How do you know?
How do I? Because I have women friends, friends that are women. They were sweet, dude. They're like individual stalls. Think of it like a tiny room. Think of it like a tiny room. It's seriously like a tiny room that you can lock, and it's like a tiny bathroom. It's almost like a family restroom, if that makes any sense.
No, and I know what you're saying, like a family restroom, but you're gonna
Like
have
yeah,
like
they're pretty cool.
like how many of those could you possibly have at a school where it's like conducive for everybody that needs to use the bathroom?
Yeah, so my school has about 60,000 people that go to it, and there's going to be enough gender-neutral restrooms to be conducive towards like optimal use. Like
So is
CU
this
Boulder is a great example.
so does this
It works. It works. It actually works. Surprisingly.
So do you know what the statistics are on assault within bathrooms at normal universities where they're separate versus yours?
No, I want to be aware of any empirics, but if I had to like take a guess, I would assume there to be like a lower amount of assaults within the gender-neutral restrooms, just because they're individualized stalls that you can lock from the inside. Like obviously,
Well, you
this
can
is
lock any
obvious.
stall from the inside.
No, because the stalls, like as we know them in general restrooms, would have like the cracks on the top and the bottom, and you could see through it.
So you're
And this
saying
is
like
more
this
like
is like from floor to ceiling, it's like
think of
completely
it think of it like the door to your room.
right, sure. Like there's no like so it's not a stall at that point, it's a room.
Yeah, they could use whatever terminology works best, like individual stalls, individual rooms.
You know, I'm all for, you know, decreasing the assault, decreasing the, you know, aggression on any particular people. So I'm not here to like say like one's better than the other, but like just based off of my knowledge, it's much better to keep things separate. But I mean, whatever works is whatever works. I
Can
think
you
we're
give me
in
any empirics of that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, could you give me any evidence of that?
I said based off of my experience. There's no data to back up my experience.
Okay, so then we're just gonna say that this is gonna be like a baseless claim.
What right, which is what you were doing with your friends. You're like your friends that were girls, right?
I mean, yeah, do you want me to go ahead and like find some empirics that would be denoting of individuals being safer in individual rooms that lock by the inside in comparison to a common area?
Oh, I'm not
Like,
saying
obviously this is
you
gonna
don't
be
need to
good.
do
Like,
that.
yeah, I mean, I could. Like, obviously those empirics are gonna exist. If you want me to take the time, I could grab them.
I'm sure, but on when you take finite data like that, when it's so minuscule and small, and compare that to the majority, it's very. You have to look at other factors, like what state
Like
it's
what?
in, what economic state it's in, like other
Yeah,
racial
we could like a
factors.
whoa. Racial factors. What the fuck? What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about literally any other factor that could go into making it different than other places. Like it doesn't matter
Oh yeah,
socioeconomic.
we could compare for like socioeconomic factors and stuff like that. I mean, I like obviously these empirics will exist. We could find them if you want.
Well, what I'm saying is like there is not enough data to back up where it would be conclusive for
I
everybody.
I
Because
dispute
if
that.
they would
I
have, they
dispute
would have
that.
implemented this a long time ago.
Wait, this is why we see these being implemented within universities over the course of like the last 15 years. It's obviously
My
safe for them.
university actually did not implement it. It was voted on by the board, and it
Yeah,
was
why don't I just go ahead and get you some data?
sure. No, go ahead. I'm just saying, like the data that's being presented is not large enough to be congruent with other universities and other states and other schools, other financial backgrounds. It's just you can't base data like this small amount of data on this. What's up, chat? See, I see my name in there a little bit. A couple W's. All right, I'll take it.
Sorry, I had to go get my charger for my laptop. I just
No,
plugged
you're
it
good.
in. Yeah, so no, we can account for these factors, and I feel like it's still going to be like the most likely case that individuals are going to be safer in a room in which they are alone in comparison to a room in which would possess other people in it. Like, right, Peyton, like I feel like we could use like general reason to come about this conclusion as well, right? Because like
Sure.
there's only going to be like a risk of threat if there'd be other individuals that could pose a risk of threat. Like, first,
Absolutely.
let's think about this. Do you think that you would be safer in the men's restroom if you were alone in the men's restroom, or if there was 10 other people in the men's restroom?
Well, that's not really that you I probably by myself, but as a man, like I'm
Right.
not really fearful of other people. Like I'm
Okay.
not saying like I'm big and strong, but what I'm saying is that if I'm a woman and I am
Yeah. Yeah.
physically less
What
and
bathroom?
more
What bathroom?
able to,
Would a woman be safer in the women's restroom if she was alone in the women's restroom, or if there was 20 other women in the women's
she would
restroom
be
with her?
safer if it was all women.
No, 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 Peyton. I'm asking you a question. Would a woman be safer in the women's restroom if she was alone in the women's restroom, or if there was other people, other women in the women's restroom?
You know, I don't think the comparison is really there for you to make
Oh my God,
an accurate claim where
this is
it's
gonna be no, this is gonna be obvious. This is gonna be obvious. If there's no risk of threat being posed by other people, she's obviously gonna be safer without it, even if that risk of threat is low.
so
This
okay,
is
okay,
obvious.
okay, okay, all
Can
right.
you no? Can you or can you not agree with this?
Okay, I can agree with this, but
Okay,
let me
you can
throw this,
agree with this. No, no,
let
I'm
me
not
throw
done.
this
I'm
back your
not.
way.
No, no,
Let me
no.
throw this back your
I'm
way.
not done. I'm not done. And you could refute as soon as I'm done, right? So now that we've agreed
Okay,
upon,
go ahead, go ahead.
no, Matt. Okay, so an individual is going to be safer in a restroom if they're alone in that restroom in comparison to having other people in that restroom, regardless of their gender or sex or what kind of restroom it is, right? So this is going to lead to the obvious
Sure, I
conclusion
agree with you.
that
Sure.
individuals are going to be safer in single-roomed restrooms in comparison to multi-stall restrooms, because in one alone they're in it, and in one instance they're alone, and in one instance they're not alone, right? So we can back this with like empirics and like statistics, but we could also just reason this out because there wouldn't be any like risk of threat.
Right. Okay. So are you done?
I mean, do you agree
Okay.
or do you not agree with
Okay.
this? Can you
I
tell me if you agree
I
with this?
totally agree with that.
Okay, so
I
then
totally
you
agree
would
with you,
agree
for sure.
that single-roomed restrooms would be safer, gender-neutral single-room restrooms would be safer than men and women restrooms, right? Just because
So
there would be no
okay,
risk of threat in the
let me ask you this
single-room
question.
restrooms.
Let me ask you this question: are these genderless bathrooms, are men and women both going to be able to like wash their hands together, like stuff like that, right?
No, so the sinks are going to be in the cells as well, in the rooms as well.
Gotcha. But the access point to get to them is going to be genderless, right?
Yeah, the access
There's
point
going to be
get
like a
to them is
common
gonna-
like
Yeah, the access
what?
point to get to any restrooms is genderless.
Right, right. What I'm saying is that is this like are you talking about it's like quite like a room, like your bedroom, like you just open it. There's not like 10 of them in there, just one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what that? Yeah, sure. I see those all the
Think family
time
restroom.
for families.
Yeah, then like at some
I get
points they could
that,
have
but
general rooms as well. But I mean that's going to be just about as risky as a classroom. So
sure. Okay, but what I'm saying is that like if there was, let's say there's a restroom and there's one woman and there's 20 women, right? Who would be safer if there were 20 women and one man and one versus one man and one woman? Well, who's safer?
wait, repeat that.
You're saying that having one person per bathroom is safest, which I agree with. But if there was a man that was allowed, that was born a man, is in that now stall, who's safer, the one woman or the 20 women?
Oh wait, yeah. So I don't think that we're gonna have any empirics to denote the fact that a woman is going to be less safe around a trans woman in comparison to other women.
So you're saying that a regular, like a woman born with a vagina versus a trans woman who's born with a penis is a less of a threat?
Yeah,
You
I don't
actually-
think that we're gonna
you
have any
actually
evidence to
think
suggest that. I don't think that we're gonna have any evidence to suggest that trans women
But no,
are
come
going
on,
to be less of a threat
use
than
common
biological
sense.
females. Wait, no, this wouldn't be indicative of common sense, right?
Yeah, it would be because
How so?
they were born a man. You're
They're
telling
born
me
a
that a
man.
male born
So
now
this is a
trans
composition
female.
fallacy. So
I'm sorry.
this is a composition fallacy, right? So you're effectively saying, like think of it this way, right? So can you see atoms?
Of course not.
Okay, so can you see a tree?
Yes.
Okay, but an atom is made up of trees. So therefore, it'd be the composition fallacy would be to say you can't see the tree because the tree's made up of atoms and you can't see atoms, right? However, like the analogy in this case would be saying that trans women are made up of biological males. So therefore, trans women are just as are just as violent as biological males would be, right? So
I
it's
didn't
just
say
a composition
violent.
fallacy.
I said no. I did not say violent.
Just as much of a risk to safety, etc. Right. So once again, unless you could
You,
provide
and
me with any
do you know what that's
evidence,
based off of? It's based
unless
off of. Good.
yeah, unless you could give me like any evidence that trans women are as like likely to pose a threat as like biological as like men would be, then like I'd grant some credence to your claim. But until then, I'm just gonna say that you're gonna have like a baseless foundation for your position. So it's just going to be like prejudice, right?
It's not prejudice. It's simply fact.
Then what are the
And
facts?
you,
Can I see them? Can I see the facts that would tell us that trans women are just as likely to do harm as like
I didn't
men do?
say. I never said violence. I never said harm. I said they are physically able to because they are stronger because they were born as a man. And
Stronger.
men are
Okay.
physically superior to women. It's just
Right.
nature.
Yeah, so UFC fighters are stronger than women as like the average woman as well. Should UFC fighter like women be able to go into the women's restrooms because they're stronger on average than women, like than the average woman?
So you're missing my point.
No, I'm not.
Can you name one? Have you ever met a UFC fighter?
I follow a couple on Instagram. Yeah,
So
it's like
no,
friend
you've
of
not
ours.
actually met a UFC fighter. The likelihood that it's just
Wait, do
gonna
I
be
need
some
to?
random UFC fighter is not gonna be. And even if it
Wait,
is, they were born
the
women.
likelihood that like a woman is going to be a UFC fighter in comparison to being trans is probably right around the same. Like I mean, if not even greater for them to be a UFC fighter.
I I
So
sincerely
yeah,
doubt.
can you? So
You
now
know,
you
there's
told
like
us
probably less
you
than
this is
100
off
women.
the point. This is dude. So you told us that like this trans woman should not be allowed to go into women's spaces because they are stronger than the average woman, right? So now would you say that like strong women should not be allowed to go into women's spaces because they're stronger than the average woman?
No,
Like
you
this
did
is
not. You didn't answer my question.
what question did you
You
ask
didn't
me?
answer like the whole original. My whole original question to this was who's safer, one woman and one trans man, or a woman or 20 women and a trans woman. Sorry,
Wait, whose safety are we looking at?
because you were no, you were saying who's going to be safer around because you this is originally based off of your argument because you're saying who's going to
I'm
be safer,
confused.
one woman or 20 women.
Try to say
Do
that
you not
again.
remember your original? Do you
Yeah, I was.
remember your original argument was right,
No,
right? And I was
this was
saying
just my like original reasoning for saying why individual restrooms are going to be safer than multi use restrooms.
right,
And then you
right.
said
And
that I
I
wouldn't
was
have
using
like
that same
I
example.
wouldn't necessarily have like empirics to like back this. I could find empirics,
So
but you could
why
also just
so
reason
okay,
this out.
so my question is if you're not backing what you're saying with empirics, why are you ridiculing my argument based off of the fact that I don't have empirics either?
Wait, because I could get empirics, but it's also we could just reason it out, and you agree to the reason. So if you didn't
I
agree to the reason, we could get the empirics.
we can agree to reason absolutely. I'm not saying that we have to, but
No,
I'm
yeah,
just saying
no,
like
this would be the same for you.
don't
Like if you could present reason to justify your argument, and I were to agree with it, that's fine. Like then I could accept your stance without like denoting like statistics. Because like I'm not accepting your reason or you haven't provided any reason,
are
like that's
you
whatever. But like the thing is like you actually accepted my reason. So I don't need to
okay.
go on my laptop and get the empirics because it's obvious, dude. An individual is going to be safer if they're alone in comparison to well, is safer with like anyone else, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
like
So let me
I'm
ask you.
safer. There is a lower risk to my bodily safety if I'm alone in comparison to with anyone else, right? Obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you there. What I
Okay,
was
so
saying.
then I don't need empirics to substantiate my claim, and this is why, because you were able to accept my reasoning.
That's just common sense. I
Right.
was
My
trying
my
to.
argument's backed by common sense. The argument for individualistic unisex stalls or like rooms for restrooms is going to be like, grounded within common sense. Obviously, they're safer. So I don't need statistics for that.
Okay. Well, I was also trying to get you to understand common sense when I said trans women and women born with vaginas obviously are very significantly different when it comes to physical acumen, right?
Yeah, we would see this in some cases, but I
Uh,
don't see how this like this
the
difference in like
average,
physical acumen is going to equate to saying that this trans woman should not be allowed to go into said woman's space. Because we're
so
also going to observe difference in physical acumen between biological females and other biological females, and this is why I mentioned like a UFC
sure,
fighting
because
woman. So now please answer my question. If you're going to say that a trans woman should have to go into the men's restroom because she's physically stronger, would you then therefore say that like a UFC fighter woman, would you say that a UFC fighter woman should have to go into the men's restroom because she's physically stronger?
absolutely not, because she was born a woman.
Okay, so then we wouldn't see any real reason for saying that that trans woman should not be able to go into the women's restroom apart from like being born a biological female or a biological male, but then we've already reductioed that down at the beginning of this conversation.
Right, but what you're saying is like what I'm saying is the average man versus the average woman. It doesn't matter if you're trans or whatever. You are vastly different. And the average man versus the average woman, the significance in
Right.
strength and size is definitely there. But you are
Right.
equating something as equal, if not
Right.
greater,
No,
to
you're good.
less likelihood
Right.
to happen.
Right. Yeah. So you could use that as a principle if it didn't have any reductios, right? You could say that trans women shouldn't be able to go into women's restrooms because they're physically stronger than the average woman. If you then also accepted what would fall from that principle, such as weight training women or UFC fighting women, etc.
But what I'm
Right?
saying is that
Because
if you have
I
to
mean I
equate,
have wait one second because like I have like many like female friends who are incredibly strong. Some that are even kind of stronger than me. It's scary, and I lift a lot of weight, right? Because I go to the gym often,
how much do you
right?
lift?
I lift a bit. I lift a bit.
No,
And
no, like
anyways,
weight wise.
bench, I like
Yeah.
265. I have a woman friend who can bench 270. That shit's
And how much does she weigh?
terrifying. Oh, she weighs like
I mean,
what?
not. I mean, I don't know if you probably don't know
Uh,
accurately, but
like
around.
between like 160, 175. It's incredible, dude. She
Well,
she does
she's
weightlifting comp.
she is a genetic specimen, and that rarely happens, if ever. Like
I mean,
women are just
yeah. Would
naturally
you
not
equate that
that
to less than
strong
one
unless they.
percent?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So then we would also observe like trans women being less than 1% as well. Like
We'd
because
also observe trans women being born with vaginas and women being born with vaginas as well.
so now if you're gonna
Sorry, trans men being
yeah,
sorry
so then if you're just
being born
basing
with
upon what's in
penises,
between like an individual's legs, and this is just gonna go
which
back
is
around to the
exactly what
beginning.
my
To
original
the
argument
beginning,
was
one second.
about.
To the beginning of this conversation, where you couldn't tell me which bathroom Hugh Jackman should use. So I mean, if we're just
The
gonna
original
circle around, I'll
argument.
just move on to the next guess. If we're just gonna like circle right back around to the
I
beginning.
think we are, and we're definitely not going to agree on this. I hope you find some clarity in it, but
Can you define woman for me real quick? Wait, you want me to find clarity? I'm gonna show you that you don't have clarity. Define woman.
I'm sorry.
Define woman.
Define woman.
Yep.
A woman is anybody who was born with a vagina.
Okay, so yeah, what if there's this individual who I would consider a woman, right? They would even
Are you
look
a
and
woman?
function. Can I finish, Peyton?
Please.
All right. So what if there's gonna be this individual who's gonna look and act and talk just like your mom, right? I'd consider them to be a woman. I'd consider them to be a female.
So wait,
But
wait,
they're
wait.
born. Can I finish?
I was just saying, could you repeat that?
Oh my God. Right. So there's going to be this individual who I would consider to be a woman, right?
Okay.
And you would generally too, right? They're going to look like your
Sure.
mom. They're going to function like your mom, right? They're even going to possess like, I don't know, like traits that are very typical of like women, right? However, they're born with MRKH, right? And this would cause them to be born without like a uterus or like a vaginal canal, or and even in some extreme cases a vagina, right? Would you say this individual is not a woman because they do not possess a vagina?
Were they born? What were their chromosomes at birth?
XX.
So they were born without a vagina, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Then at that point, which is what considered intersex. Is that correct?
No, it's not intersex.
All right. Well, in the very rare case in which that is, whatever they
It's
were,
about as just as rare as being trans. A little
that's
bit less rare. I think MRKH
I was about to
is
say
like
that's not
two to
true.
five.
That's to not have any genitalia at all.
Like
That's ex
MRKH. We'd observe like what, like 2 to 3% of women have an MRKH.
no way. There's
Yeah.
no.
Well, no,
Can you
there's
look that
different
up for me?
there's different variances of MRKH.
Okay, let's just say that that's the right number. But even so, like if that's what they were born with and they were, intent like their biology intent was to be a woman, then by all means,
How do you know what their biology intended them to be? Because
their
now you're
doctor
basically saying if
would
they were
their
organized, you're saying if they were organized to have a vagina, that this would make them a woman. So how do you know if an individual is organized to have a vagina?
because it's very physically evident.
How so?
Their doctor tells them when they're born to their mother. It's on their birth certificate. It's
Well,
on
no, the
their
doctor
it's
would
on
just
their
look
it's on
at
their
what's in
charts.
between their legs, right? The
I'm
doctor would
sorry.
just look at what's in between their legs.
It's pretty easy to tell that at birth, no?
What's in between someone's legs, not if they have MRKH.
You're telling me a doctor can differentiate that?
Yeah, sometimes a doctor cannot differentiate that.
But okay, so that's not true because all people are born either male or female. Like there are some doctors that
Oh wait,
may not
apart
be
from
able to do
intersex, like
that.
most people are born male and female, but some doctors can't like gauge that because of MRKH.
Sure, they can't, but they will enlist the help of other people to determine that because it's
So
something
you're
that has
telling
to
me that
go
you
on
don't
their
know what
birth
the
certificate. You
so I'm
understand
asking,
that, right?
dude, you understand that I'm asking you for what the deterministic like factors of sex are? Like what
And I
determines
just
an
told
individual to be
you.
male or female?
I
What
just told
what
you.
is it? What the doctor says? That's not true. What a doctor says doesn't determine my sex.
So according to PennMed,
If a doctor said if
0.002%.
if a doctor said that I am a female, this wouldn't make me a female.
Right, but a doctor's not going to tell you that you're a female if you were born with a penis, which is a lot of what people are
Right, dude, I'm
transitioning to.
asking you what makes someone a female.
And
What
I
are the
told you,
deterministic factors of sex?
if you born with a vagina, you
Okay,
are a female.
yeah, if they don't have a vagina, if they have MRKH, what are they?
At that point, the doctor determines what it is because
No, I'm asking you to determine.
I'm not a doctor. I
So
can't tell you.
so you can't tell us. You can't tell us if an individual's a male or a female if they have MRKH. So even though this individual, right, possesses traits that are very typically regarded to be that of like a feminine nature, right? They look just like your
Well-
mom. They talk just like your mom.
Okay, first
right?
off,
they
if
act
they
just like your mom.
if they
and you
weren't-
can't tell us if this is a female.
So, Dean, according to what you're saying, they can't be my mom because they were not born with a vagina.
I know what I'm just doing is I'm drawing an equivalence to show you how this individual would look exactly like what you would consider to be a woman, yet you are not going to classify them as a woman.
You understand that it has that on your birth certificate, on your charts, you have to be
Right,
listed
we're
as
not
one or the
talking.
other.
We're not talking about like what a doctor says. I'm just asking you what makes someone a woman or a female, right? Because all I'm doing is like I'm just asking you to engage in critical thought and to tell me more about your position, right? And now you are just like appealing to like, oh, what a doctor says. But this is like really annoying.
Right.
So-
So if you incur this whatever this may be called, and it translates to the rest of your life. So if the doctor told you at birth and you had this condition that you were a male, you had the chromosomes of a male, are you going to question that? Obviously, because you look like a man and you may not have the genitalia of a man, but the doctor can talk to other doctors and determine that you were in fact a man because of the fact that you possess the chromosomes of that to be a man.
Okay, so now you're saying that being a man or being a woman is based upon like one's chromosomal structure?
It's chromosomal structure, genitalia. It's very
Genitalia.
congruent. It's all congruent.
Chromosomal structure and genitalia. Sure, yeah, sure. Let's assume that this woman or this individual that I would at least consider to be a woman was born with MRKH. Sure, she did not have a vagina, but then she was also born with Swyer syndrome that caused her to be born chromosomally a male. All right. So now she
Okay,
has
so-
XY chromosomes and she has no genitalia. Right. So is this a man or a woman?
At that point, Make it up yourself.
Make it up
The
yourself.
percentages of people like that where it has both, it's
We're
got
just
to be
testing your
less than
principle.
0.001%.
Oh, it's
There's no way.
incredibly low, right? But what we're doing is that we're testing your principle, right? Because
Right, and
what
my
is this? So
principle is
this is
saying that at
called
that point, if you
definitional drill down. One second. This is called definitional drill down, right? So like I could tell you what like the deterministic factors of sex are. So like 8 weeks embryonic development, what we would typically see is the activation of the SRY gene, in comparison or as comprised with like their chromosomal structure, right? Your hormonal regulation, your hormonal. Oh, wait, sorry. They're the five deterministic factors of sex are A, your chromosomes, B, your hormone levels, C, your hormone composition, D, the activation or inactivation of the SRY gene, and then E, your fucking your neurology, right? So these are going to be the five deterministic factors of sex. And all that I'm asking you is like what would make an individual male or a female, and then you started off with the genitalia. However, it's like obvious. I think if like an individual, if were to like look and act like your mom, I would consider this individual to be a woman, even if they didn't have a vagina, right? And now you're saying it's based upon the chromosomes. Well, yeah, if an individual has Swyer syndrome, if they, and they're chromosomally male but phenotypically female, I'd still say that this individual would be a female, right? So it seems as if neither of these two traits of what's in between your legs or what the structure of your chromosomes is would decide what your sex is. So if it's not those two traits that would decide what your sex is, what is it?
But do you see like what you're having to do is you have to rationalize, you have to just get into these extremely minute percentages of things that happen for you to determine whether or not somebody's a male or female. Like you have to have these extremely low chances of these things to happen for it to be in question whether or not a person's a male or female. Like if you have to nitpick at these many
Right.
that this
No,
many things
this
to
is
determine whether.
causing you to engage in critical thought, right? Because what I'm saying is it's not about like this statistically insignificant instance to like show that we're nitpicking here. In fact, I think that there's going to be a trait which exists in this one of these statistically insignificant instances that is going to make them a male or female, and that same trait's going to exist in me, and that same trait's going to make me a male or female. We're using these instances to show that your principled assertions are incorrect. Right? And that's all that we're doing. Because
If
yeah,
my principle of assertions has to apply to about 99.9% of people and not that 0.1%,
if it
then
doesn't
that's
apply to
fine.
everyone, then no, you have a fallacious principle because it's contradictory.
Okay, so
Unless a
okay,
principle, unless a
okay,
principle's universal, it's contradictory.
oh,
If a
okay. I was
principle's
about to
not true
say.
in all cases, it's contradictory.
Okay, I was about to say that was a little controversial to what you were saying earlier, but
Not at all.
okay, let me ask you this. Do you care about women? Do you care about women that were born with a vagina? Do you care about women that present female in every way in regards to lifestyle and everything like that?
Do I care about? I care about everyone.
Sure, but like, do you care about them specifically? Like, I'm not asking you
Yeah,
like,
I care about I care about cis women, of course.
okay, sure. So if you care about cis women, why would you cater to to the minority
How am
and
I
put at
catering
risk
to the
the
minority?
majority?
How am I putting cis women at risk?
By allowing trans women to enter into women's spaces, they are now in a place where they are at higher risks of danger as opposed to if it was a woman being in there instead of a trans woman.
Yeah, could you give me any evidence of this?
I thought we were going off non-empirical stats and just having a conversation.
Well, I'm just unconvinced of your claim.
I don't have my computer in front of me, but
Okay, so you don't have any reason that I should
could
believe
shoot you a
this.
message.
I mean, dude, listen. I don't like unless you have any evidence for that claim, I'm not going to accept it to be true, and it doesn't sound like you have any evidence.
That's fine. You don't have to accept it's being true. And also your point earlier, where what was the thing called where they were not born with any genitalia?
The MRKH.
What did you call that?
The most
What
extreme
was it?
cases. In the most extreme cases of MRKH, we would see these individuals being born without like vaginal canal, etc.
Right. And you said it was a 2%, right?
For all of MRKH.
Right. So, according to the University of Penn, it's 0.02%, less 1 in 45,000 people.
Would have like the severe cases of MRKH, correct?
Right. Right. Okay. So, I'm not gonna go tit for tat on you on data like that. But what I'm saying is that like if they're okay, let me ask you a very like
Wait.
subjective
I'm
question.
so confused. Go for it.
If there was any chance of trans women endangering women in women's spaces, would you still want them to be in women's spaces if they still presented as women and claimed to be women according to society?
Oh, well, you're asking me what I will want, right? So I don't
Well,
want
I'm
public
asking you,
spaces
what
for
do you
us
think is
race.
morally just? Do you think that the feelings of the minority are more
Wait, no, one
important than the
second. You're
safety of the
asking me.
majority?
You're asking me what I want, right? So I'll respond to you what
No,
I
no, no,
want.
no, 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 no. I'm not
Wait,
saying
this
what I
is
want.
this. Okay, then
Listen, listen,
what are
listen,
you
listen.
asking?
Listen, listen. So I'm asking, do you believe that the feelings of the minority are more important than the safety of the majority?
Wait, I don't think that the feelings of the minority would impede upon the safety of the majority.
It is the feelings though, because they feel that those though they're a woman, correct?
No, they are women, and this is not going to put cis women at any increased danger or likelihood of harm, right? And you have not been able to provide empirics to like support this claim, right? So
Like I
until you
said, I'm not.
substantiate that claim, like man, if you present me with evidence, like maybe like I'd reevaluate my position, but
So okay, so
that evidence doesn't
hypothetically,
exist.
sure, sure. Like I read somewhere, I don't have it on me, but let me just ask hypothetically, if that were the case, and there was data to back
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
if you
I'm
could
just
give me
asking as
data,
a
like yeah, maybe if you could give me data, I'd reevaluate my position.
no, no, no. I'm not saying about your position on it specifically. I'm just asking you,
Demi, thank you for
like,
the
do you
handouts.
believe that what?
I was thinking a gift.
Oh, okay. So look, I think that we're going to disagree on this one. I don't. I think we're going to go around in a
Dude,
circle
I'm dude,
for
I'm
a
at no
while about
there's
this.
no circle going on here. What you are doing is you are just perpetuating your prejudice to make foundationless, baseless claims, right? Because you cannot provide any supporting evidence for your position, right? So don't make a claim if that claim it cannot be backed by
Okay,
evidence,
Dean.
right?
If you're going to
So
pull
you're saying
that
that
card,
like
if
so
you're going
you're
to pull
saying
that
that putting
card,
trans women down in
no, no,
women.
no.
You're saying that trans women going into the women's restroom is going to put cis women at a greater risk, right? This is your claim. Until you provide any evidence for that claim, I mean, I'm just simply like I'm gonna disregard it, right? We gotta have evidence
All
for
right, all
this.
right. All right, so I want you to pull up the evidence then on your school versus the schools of every other university on why yours is so much safer because it's a genderless bathroom.
Wait,
Because you
so
don't
we
have any of it, you have no evidence to support it. You're just telling me out your ass about how it's safer. So I want the evidence. I want the data. Who keeps adding me?
All right, so we are going to be looking at digitalcommonsuri.edu.
Digital what?
This is going to be published from the University of Rhode Island, and this is going to be gender neutral restrooms, creating safe and accessible spaces for all students. This is going to be written by Julia S. I cannot pronounce her last name, and this is going to be a study or a conglomerate of studies that would address the safety concerns. In comparison of gender neutral single stall restrooms to like the conglomerate restrooms. So
These her sources were dated back to 2007.
yeah, this was published in 2012.
Okay, so that's pretty outdated, wouldn't you think, considering
No,
everything that's happened in the
unless you
last
could give me
15
any like
years?
evidence that would update from that, right? So
So if
like
you have
the
no
way
if
that
you
the
have
way
no
that
new
scientific
evidence,
one second the way that scientific claims work is that like it's only considered outdated if there's been more like research to like suggest the contrary, right?
so do you think over the last 10 years, after everything that's happened progressively, that it wouldn't have changed or updated?
Yeah, no. I mean, if you just want like a newer one, we could just look at gender neutral toilets, qualitative exploration of inclusive school environments for sexuality and gender diverse of youth in Western Australia, published in 2022 on the National Library of Medicine.
And what does it say?
All right, this would once again come to the conclusion that like these are obviously just going to be safer and put individuals at a lower risk for harm, and this is all built upon like the priorly agreed upon, just general like rational
Sure, sure.
reasoning. Right?
I could ask
Like
you
you know that
like
this is true, right? Dude, an individual is going to be safer if they are alone in comparison to if they are with any other individuals, right? I mean, like this is abundantly clear. I'm going to be at a lower potentiality of being harmed from other people if there's not other people around me in comparison to if there is. Like, come on, dude, this is obvious. How am I going to be at a greater risk for other people harming me if there's no one to harm me? Like, think about it, man. Like, seriously, just think about it, man. Think about it. Two situations. In which one of the situations am I going to have a greater likelihood to be harmed by others? The situation in which I'm locked in a room alone, or I'm in a room with about 20 other people?
Okay, first, unless you go to a sporting event or something like that, there's not really a lot of, or an airport, there's 20 people in the bathroom at one time. It's generally not going to happen.
Yeah, okay, one other person in the bathroom. One other.
Okay,
in which situation am I going to be safer in? And sorry, in which situation am I going to be safer in? Me being alone,
I will answer your question.
Yeah, no, please.
I will answer your question.
Yeah, no. Let me restate this as simple as possible. In which one of the two following situations am I going to be at the least likely, right? Am I going to be least likely to be harmed by others? The situation in which I'm alone, or the situation in which I'm with others?
From other people? Definitely by yourself.
Oh, so I'm more likely to be harmed by other people when I'm not with other people in comparison to when I am with other people?
That's not what I said. I said you're more likely to incur less physical opposition as opposed to if you're with other people. But you're not a woman, okay? We're talking about women here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It does matter though.
No. This principle is not dependent upon if an individual is a man or a woman. Anyone is going to be less likely to get harmed by other people if they aren't with other people in comparison to if they are with other people. I mean, boom.
So if you're saying that,
wow, is that really that hard of a principle to accept? If you're not with other people, you're less likely to be harmed by other people than if you were with other people.
You see, pal,
come on.
I don't know why you have to be like this.
Why? Because I give you the rationale for this. Then I give you two supporting sources for this, and you can't accept it? Dude, I gave you two academic studies to support this fucking claim that you are less likely to be harmed by other people if you aren't with other people in comparison to if you are. Dude, really? And you still haven't accepted this conclusion.
One of them was from 2007.
Dude, said oh my God, no, 2012 and one from 2020. Dude, why do I even need to give you sources to support this claim that you are less likely to be harmed by other people if you aren't with other people? Really? Man, really? I mean, can you concede to this? Can you? Can you concede that I am right on this?
I'm not going to say that you're right. I will say that you definitely...
Peyton. Yes, when I say that anyone is less likely to be harmed by other people if they're not with other people in comparison to when they are. This is a true claim. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to argue anymore. I think that
there's nothing to argue.
My claim has been fairly
Can you tell me that I'm
well.
Can you tell me that I'm right?
I can tell you that women that were born with
no.
Tell me
that I'm right. You're less likely to be harmed by other people if you're not with other people. Come on, tell me. Come on, let's hear it. Don't say yeah, dude.
Listen, pal.
Say yeah,
Listen,
dude. You're
buddy.
right. Say it. Come on.
See, if you can't have an argument with somebody without acting like this, then that means you lost.
Peyton. Oh, so
listen,
I want
pal,
you to
did
concede.
good.
Peyton, I want you to concede.
You did good, buddy.
No, you're just trying to fucking gaslight. Now you're just trying to gaslight, dude. Peyton, tell me that I'm right. Tell me that, yes, anyone is safer from harm from other people if they're not with other people in comparison to that they are. This is, dude, this is, wow. I mean, do I really need to spell this out for you?
Please, I'm very illiterate.
Right. So yeah, are you going to be like at a greater likelihood to be harmed from someone else if you're in a room alone or if you're in a room with someone else?
Oh, can I speak now?
You can answer.
You're not gonna meet me this time?
Nope.
Okay. Well, like I said, uh, I'm not gonna agree with you.
I want you to answer my question. I did. I gave you two options, man. You gotta answer the question. Are you more likely to be harmed from someone else if you're in a room alone or if you're in a room with someone else? You have your two options. Answer.
Will I be able to elaborate after I answer?
Yep.
Okay. So if you are in a room alone, you definitely have greater or less risk to be harmed.
Yeah, fucking thank you, jeez. Jesus Christ, bro. Holy fucking shit. I appreciate you for the concession. I appreciate you for the concession. Dear fucking God, chat. Wow. I cannot believe that we just sat listening to that guy, listening to that BS for like the last 30 minutes. I'm so glad that we have, come upon the agreed upon conclusion that you are safer if you're not with anyone else compared to if you are with anyone else. It seems as if we have came upon an agreed. It seems as if we have came upon a concession. Very nice. All right, guys, we're going to go to change our topic here real quick, chat. I'm going to go ahead and restart my stream. I'll go ahead and be right back in about 10 seconds, y'all. I'm just going to restart my stream. Make sure to click on my account, then refresh in 10 seconds. I will see you all very, 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 very soon. Rosballs, I appreciate you for the subscription. See you all very shortly. That we are double tapping on that phone screen literally right now. Let's try to get up to about 50,000 likes. And for everyone saying that Peyton was right, Cope, you're delusional. Like you probably have 4 brain cells. Like, let's just be real. Anyways, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for being here. Make sure that we are double tapping on that phone screen. We're gonna go ahead and get our first guest up in here right now. Make sure if we are in those guests. Riley, do you speak? Okay, Riley did not speak, chat. Please, if we are in those guest requests, make sure that you are sentient. Make sure that you are sentient, everybody. Make sure that you are sentient. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 19 right now.
Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
All right, nice, man. Unfortunately, I'm just talking to the individuals that do think it is wrong or immoral. Chat, guys, if we are in those guest requests, make sure that we do think being gay is wrong or immoral. Everybody, once again, we are just looking for some debates, you guys. We got our next guest loading up in here right now. But yeah, guys, please make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do disagree, everybody. Let's go ahead and get our next guest up in here right now. But for everyone watching the stream, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
So,
Okay, you are a fetus. Guys, we have to be 18, y'all. I don't know why, like, Bava, I appreciate you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much. I don't know why this is so hard, guys. We got to be at least 18. What's up, Christian? How old are you?
I'm 21.
21, sweet. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I do.
All right, why so?
It just is, man. I don't know. And also, do you
It
just
just
like
is?
do you let people
Christian,
talk, or
do
do
you
you
mind?
just like talk over them and just like you don't shut the fuck up?
Oh, are you emotional, man?
I'm
Okay,
not
so
emotional.
here's exactly what I'm gonna do with you, because it honestly sounds like you just wanted to come up here, whine, cry, and bitch and moan, right? So first of all, don't leave the live stream, right? Because I know you're probably about to run. So I have one question and one question for you only. Tell me or give me one real reason why being gay is wrong or immoral. Because when you say, "Oh, it just is," you sound like you probably have 4 neurons and you're responding to me the same way I would expect my 6-year-old niece to respond to me, right? So my challenge to you is, give me one real reason why being gay is wrong or immoral. Let's hear it, buddy. Come on.
I got a question. Why'd you change topics after you lost to Peyton?
Oh, why'd I change topics after
Yeah,
I
why'd you
lost to
change
Peyton?
topics? You
I'd
lost.
expect you to say that I lost to Peyton with your fucking 4 neurons. All right, 1 strike gone. Dude, you have 2 strikes left. Christian, my hypothesis is that you do not have a brain. prove my hypothesis wrong by giving me one real reason why being gay is wrong or immoral, Christian. If you do not respond, here's my hypothesis. You're not going to respond to jack shit, right? But I'm going to go and put it to the test. Click on your profile picture and click on mute, Christian. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Give me a reason. Bro's avoiding the question. Dude, you need to, Christian, you have to unmute your microphone. Click on your profile picture and click on mute.
I got a question though. Do you just
Bro,
like not
Christian.
shut the fuck up and like
Oh
let
my,
people
Christian,
talk, or
and-
do you just talk over them all the time? I mean, I've
Tell
been
me
in
why
this live
being gay is
numerous
wrong or
times,
moral.
and that's all you do. So
Okay, you're emotional. I get it.
I'm not
Tell me why
emotional.
being
It's
gay is
just
wrong.
facts though.
Okay, Christian, can you answer my question now?
You're the one who's emotional. You're the one like bitching over here the whole
Okay,
time.
very
So
nice, Christian. Can you answer my question?
what's your question?
Why is being gay wrong or moral?
It just is.
Okay, so I'd expect the same answer out of a kindergartner. Please engage in critical thought.
I
Give
mean,
me real,
it
like,
just is.
substantiated reason.
I don't have to go into like, specific evidence. It just is.
It just is, right? So I think that being straight is wrong.
How's that being wrong?
Oh, it just is.
I mean, it's not, but it's all good.
So Christian, when I'm asking this question,
I mean, you
when I'm
already
asking
lost,
you-
so I don't know why I don't know why you just keep going on and on when you lost. Like
What
you
did I
already lost,
lose?
you lost your other debate, and now
Okay.
you're coming over here to just like prove that it's wrong when it's not.
Okay.
like-
Hey, how many continents are there?
7. Like,
Can you name
I
'em?
mean, are you stupid? I mean, I could.
Can do it.
North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. Nice one, dumbass.
Okay, nice. You named them. So you've named the 7
Wow.
continents. So now give me a reason why being gay is wrong or moral.
Wow. So you tried asking me a question.
Right, I did. So you have passed like the general like quota. Like you've passed like the level one, like you've passed the criteria. Right. So you possess enough brain cells to answer this question. So when I ask you why being gay is wrong or moral, and you just say, well, it just is. Well, like the big issue is you're not really telling us anything about your worldview. And if you don't have a good reason why it's wrong, we're just going to assume this to be
So you mute
prejudice.
me and you're emotional because you keep losing debates, right? Is that how it goes, or what?
Christian, I'm not emotional. I'm trying to explain to
I
you
mean,
how
you are
like,
emotional. That's why you mute people and talk over them.
oh, well, no. So Christian, what I'm
mean, it's
attempting to
true,
do when
right?
I do mute, what I'm attempting to do when I mute you is I'm trying to derail the debate, right?
How's
So
it derail
I would
the
I would love to explain on this point a little bit more than I already have. So you told us that being gay is wrong because it just is, but saying it just is isn't giving us any real reason. I could say that anything's wrong because it just is. So unless you could give us real reason why being gay is wrong, we're just going to assume this to be baseless prejudice, right? And prejudice is wrong.
I mean,
So
can you
could
answer my
substantiate this
question
with some
as
real
to why
reason?
you lost your debate against Peyton and then switch topics?
So I didn't lose my debate against Peyton,
I mean,
but
you
I did
did.
switch topics so we could hopefully get a larger viewership. But
But you
I don't
lost, though.
appreciate. Okay, Christian, I don't appreciate the pivot. You're fine. You could think whatever you want to think. But now, can you please respond to my previously mentioned points about how you don't seem to be able to give us any real reason why being gay is wrong?
I mean, it's just wrong. It's a mental
Okay, why?
disorder.
Oh, it's a mental disorder.
It is.
Okay, yeah. What criteria
has
must be
been.
met? What criteria must be met for something to be considered a mental disorder?
There's a lot of factors,
Like name them.
like a specific one, like chromosomes, for example.
Well, what do chromosomes have to do with being gay?
It's not. It has nothing to do with being gay. But you just asked me what defines a mental disorder, and I just told you.
Okay.
So, like a person
yeah,
with an
so-
extra chromosome would determine they're mentally ill, correct?
So that's gonna have to do with like a certain form of mental illness, right? And that's not necessarily like an extra chromosome. But anyways, to your specific claim that being gay is a mental illness, so the World Health Organization, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association, the Endocrine Society, the British Psychological Society, the Royal College of Psychiatrics, the Canadian Psychological Association, the
they
Australian
changed it.
Psychological Society, the European Society for Sexual Medicine, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Family Physicians, the American Counseling Association, the American Public Health Association, the Netherlands Institute for Brain Research, the Center for Neurodoctrine Studies at the University of Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, and the Center for Neurochronology at UCLA all do not say that being gay is any form of a mental illness. In fact, there's not one institution of medicine nor science that would consider being gay to be a mental illness, nor one medical health professional, right? So the only individuals that make the claim that being gay is a mental illness are individuals such as you that lack an education, that lack a background, or lack a career to anything relevant or pertaining to
So someone with a
like the
bachelor's
study of
degree-
science, right? So now I have a challenge
Keep
for you.
muted.
I was just able to name 17 institutions of medicine and science that do not consider being gay to be any form of a mental illness. Can you name me one institution of medicine or science that does consider homosexuality to be a mental illness?
You didn't let me talk because you keep muting me.
You
But
overspoke me.
anyways.
You
Oh,
overspoke me.
wow, I overspoke you, but when
Yeah.
you overspeak everyone else, it's okay? Oh,
So can you answer my question,
shit.
Christian?
How hypocritical of you, huh?
Can you answer my question? Can you name one institution of medicine or science that does consider being gay to be a mental illness?
Am I allowed to talk? Or you're just going to keep talking over
Can
just
you
like you do
respond?
with everyone else? You're not letting me respond.
Go for it. Please respond.
All right. So, with how liptards nowadays,
Okay, dude. Christian, dude, come on.
This
Act
is
like an
true.
adult, man.
you're not letting me speak.
I would appreciate if you wouldn't use like.
Are
like-
you going to let me speak, or
I'd
are you just gonna keep
appreciate
talking
it
over
if.
me?
Yeah,
You're not
I'm actually, yeah, fucking cry about it, buddy. I'm not gonna let you talk, right? So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you just like wouldn't use like such terminologies like libtard, just because of like the obvious connotations and associations that that has to like the R slur. Like, dude, like I mean, if you're able to act like an adult, like I'll continue to engage in conversation with you. But like, come on, like let's act like an adult, Christian. Take a deep breath and let's act like an adult.
Are you done being a dictator, or are you going to let me talk?
Oh my God, Christian, take a fucking deep breath right now. I need you to act like an adult, right? And unfortunately, I do have to dictate your speech because you're unable to do it for yourself, right?
So, how
are you
going
able
to
to
tell me
engage
to
with me
be
like
an
an
adult
adult?
when you talk over people?
What-
You see how
wait.
you're being hypocritical here?
No,
I don't
so
think you
I'm
understand
talking
that.
over you because you're slurring on my live, you're making baseless claims, you're acting like a child, right? And this is the same thing
How is
that I
that a-
have to do to like the individuals that I like babysit, right? This is so I'm gonna go once again, you have to go back to the question that I asked you nearly 30 seconds ago. I was able to name 30 institutions of medicine and science that do not classify being gay as a mental illness, right? So can you name one institution of medicine or science that does classify it as a form of a mental illness?
It actually used to be, but they changed it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that? Or
So, yeah,
I'm
the-
not sure you know that.
No, I do. So the AMA, right, and the DSM, sorry, the APA and the DSM considered being gay to be a mental illness until the 1970s, right? But then as they advanced their understandings of related like technologies, science, and medicine, they recounted that claim in the same way that the same institution and other related ones thought that smoking was good for you in the 70s. Right, so
you
we
know
know
why they
that
changed it?
we know that smoking's no longer good for you, just like we know that being gay is no longer a form of a mental illness, right? Anyways, he just left, so I guess we're just gonna move on to the next guest. I don't know why Buddy just ran fucking away, but let's go to move on to our next guest. I'm so happy that I had both of my hands in frame there, so y'all can't fucking like cry in the comments saying I removed him. What's up? How old are you, Chase?
I'm 18.
You're 18. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yeah, you're a fucking faggot, you dumbass nigga. What the fuck's wrong?
All right, so here's what we got. We got a white fucking kid screaming screaming the N-word, screaming the F slur. Chase, I have one question only for you before I boot you off the live. How many continents are there? How many continents are there, Chase? How many continents are there, Chase? He can't tell us how many continents there are. And he left. And he left. Yo, real outstanding citizen right there, chat. Dude, the same white boys who scream slurs and get all emotional are the same fucking kids that like barely pass middle school, dude. What's up, Jeffrey? How old are you? Jeffrey, hello. Punka Pie, I appreciate you for the galaxy. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. We're going to move on to our next guest. That guy wasn't loading in. We're going to go and see what our next guest has to say here, chat. All right. bro.
What's up?
What's up, man? How old are you?
39.
39. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I'm going to tell you why it's wrong.
Okay, why?
I'm going to tell you why. One, first of all, and you cannot disagree with this, okay? There is a lot of transmitted diseases that comes from being a sexual gay man, correct or not?
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Two, how did you come about in life? Did you come from a man or from a woman that's your mother?
So yeah, so I came from my father and my mother fucking, and then my mother popped me out 9 months later. So on the first point specifically, you said that there's going to be like STDs and STIs associated
That's a known fact.
with. with homosexual intercourse. It is.
Yes.
But you know what else is a known fact? The fact that there's STIs and STDs associated with heterosexual intercourse.
That's
So if
true.
you're going to say that gay sex is wrong because AIDS,
That's true,
couldn't
but
we
you're
say
more
that
likely
straight
to
sex
get
is
it.
wrong because of HPV?
Yeah, but you're more likely getting it out the butt than out
Well,
of the vagina.
you're more likely to get certain kinds of STDs and STIs, right?
Right.
But there's different STIs and STDs at higher proclivities within heterosexual intercourse.
Okay, do
Like,
you think
like
being
gay
gay
people
is
can't even get syphilis, right?
Do you think being gay is progressive to the world?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think we can progress? Can you progress of being gay? So if I put 100 gay men on an island, are y'all gonna be able to be around in such and such time? Are y'all gonna be able to progress, produce, multiply?
No, if you put 100 gay men on an island and came back in 100 years, there'd only be bones.
Exactly. So there's no progression.
why it's wrong?
So in society, anything in society or on Mother Nature, it grows, it progresses, it multiplies, and it dies.
What would happen if we put 100 straight men on an island?
With women,
No,
there would
just 100 straight men.
There would be bones too. There would be bones too.
Okay, so is being a
So they're
straight
not
man
going
wrong?
to progress. Well, straight men are not going to be with other straight men. It's
Well,
not
I mean,
gonna be a-
yeah. If you take
If
100
I'm a
of
straight
any,
man, here's the thing. If I'm a
can
straight
I
man,
respond real quick? If you take 100 of any of like
They're
the
not
same
gonna go.
sex members,
They're not gonna go, but the gay men will.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and respond. Thank you. If you take and he just got banana by guidelines. But what I was trying to say there, while he was so rudely interrupting, if you take 100 of the same sex members of any species and put them on an island, they're all gonna die, regardless of their sexual orientation. He got banana by guidelines. We're gonna move on to our next guest here, chat. Make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think being gay is wrong or moral. What's up, George? How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
That's 2004, but yeah.
Okay. You answer that very interesting. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
No.
Okay, nice, George. Unfortunately, I am just looking for opposition. Thank you for coming up. All right, guys, let's go and see what our next guest, Cole, has to say, guys. Make sure if we are in this guest request that we do think being gay is wrong or moral. And if you do want to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal is in my bio, y'all. What's up, Cole? How old are you? Okay, Cole just left. Y'all, if we are in those guest requests, make sure that we do think being gay is wrong, everybody. We are just looking for some debates here tonight. Let's go to move on to our next guest, Worm. Everybody, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I do.
Why so?
Well, let's just get some main facts together about you, if you don't mind. Like, have you ever been interested in men?
No.
Have you ever endured maybe I don't know, I don't want to get bended off, but like, have you ever experienced anything with men?
No.
So why is this even a question for you?
Because I don't think that being gay is wrong, and I don't like irrational and unjust prejudice. I have a question. Do you think that misogyny is wrong?
No. No, I would like to stick to the main question though.
You don't think that misogyny is wrong. Okay, I'll have to find another example. What color is your skin?
What is the purpose of that question?
Bro, you just asked me if I fucked a dude. I can ask you what the color of your skin is. Thank you.
You can see it right there on my picture.
Can you just tell me? I can't see it.
I'm brown.
You're brown. Okay. Well, I was gonna bring up, well, like, basically the idea of what I'm getting at here, is that, like, you don't have to be a woman to say that misogyny is wrong. You don't have to be non-white to say that racism is wrong, just like you don't have to be gay to say that homophobia is wrong.
Correct.
So can you please answer the question on the top of my screen? Do you think that being gay is wrong?
Yes.
All right, why so?
Because it is.
All right, why so?
I'm, you know,
Can you engage? Okay. Well, he just left. We're gonna move on to our next guest here, chat. Because it is, dude. The best argument ever. Because it is, chat. Trust me, bro. It just is. What's up, man? How old are you, John?
56.
56. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
No, I don't. Been in.
Very nice, John. Unfortunately, I'm just looking for opposition, but John, I do appreciate you for coming up. Let's get some John W's in that comment section down below, y'all, while we do move on to our next guest, everybody. Hey, what's up, Anthony? How old are you?
I'm 62.
Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes, of course.
All right, why so?
Well, you guys proposed a question earlier, and it was about 100 men and everything on the island. The question isn't supposed to go in that fashion. The question should be framed in this fashion. If you put 100 people and a couple of couples on an island, if they were couples as two gay men, or couples as a male and a female, or couples as females, who would be around in 100 years?
Right. If you took 100 straight men and
that's the way you have to frame the question, because
if you took
guys
if
get
you
to
if you
play,
took a
word games.
If you took 100 straight men and their lovers and put them on an
Right.
island, in 100 years, we'd still see people. If you took 100 gay men and their lovers and put them on an island, in 100 years there'd only be bones.
I said if you put 100 couples, use the word couples. The couples have to be paired. If you have two men, or a male and a female in couples in that 100 years, or two females, you can go all across the board. They have to be opposite sex in the couple frames and
Yeah, to
put them on an
reproduce.
island. That's the only way they're going to reproduce.
Yeah.
So that's the proof that they're going to be wrong. That's the proof of being wrong. It's not about whether you, because an individual can be on an island by himself or whatever. You can have 1 million people. If they're not couples, it's male and female. You need both to make it happen. And that was the argument that's not really coming out, because the wordplay is the most major portion of this.
Right. So yeah, you're right. You can't reproduce from gay sex. I have a question. Is it wrong to be infertile? Is that immoral? Is infertility immoral?
I don't believe morals has to do with a physical or a non-option as far as whatever, a handicap or whatever the case may be.
Anthony, can you answer my question? Is
I
infertility...
did, and stop raising your voice at
Kelsey,
me.
I appreciate you.
All right, I don't need you to raise your voice at me, and don't change your tone. I'm not the kind of guy you talk to like that.
Okay,
all right?
buddy.
So if you want to drop me, you can.
All right,
Talk to me like a gentleman, all right?
All right, buddy.
Or just say, get out of here.
Also, Heatwave, I appreciate you for the hearts.
Don't talk to me any kind of way.
Shush.
No, don't tell me to shush. All right.
1 second, Anthony. I don't want to. I don't want to mute.
Be polite. If you be polite,
Anthony,
I can be polite.
I gotta stop talking.
No,
please.
I don't have to stop talking. That's how white people
Anthony,
talk to black. Don't talk
need
to me.
to think.
Talk to me like a gentleman.
Anthony.
No, I don't want to hear
please
Anthony.
Stop
you don't
talking.
talk to me like a gentleman. You can drop me.
I need to.
Right?
I need to
I don't
think.
care what you need.
I need to think. You know what, Anthony? Get fucking muzzled, buddy. Thank you. Anyways, Parker, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Let's get some W Parkers going in that chat. Parker, I appreciate you for the raid. Thank you so much, my man. Everybody, let's show some love to Parker. W Parker in the chat. W Parker in the chat. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to thank Parker for the raid. So let's get some W Parkers going in that chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Anyways, Anthony, you could go ahead and click that OK button to get that mic unmuted. Anyways, so yeah, what I'm asking the question is being gay wrong? I'm asking you if being gay is morally wrong. So would you say that being gay is immoral because gay sex doesn't lead to procreation?
The only reason why you guys think it is okay is because you have reprobated minds. You believe the lie.
Okay, can you answer my question?
I just did. I don't answer questions the way you want. I give you the answer that needs to be given to you. And that's the problem. Everybody's telling you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. And that's a big difference.
Okay, so do you think that being gay is immoral?
I just told you again. You don't understand layman's terms.
Okay, so do you think being infertile is immoral? I would like to draw an analogy here. Do you think that infertility is immoral?
You're drawing a wrong analogy.
You don't even know what the analogy is yet.
Well, you're going into a different direction. You're asking.
It is. We're taking the context of the principle. We're taking your principle. Anthony.
That doesn't exist.
Anthony. Shh.
No. No.
Anthony, you don't even know what. Listen, this isn't chess. This isn't checkers.
Look, this isn't a kid's game. You're asking about.
Right.
Stick to the subject. Stay exactly
Anthony,
on that.
We're drawing an analogy. Please answer my question.
There is no analogy. Being gay is wrong.
There is.
Let's stay to that analogy.
Okay, why is it wrong? Because being gay.
I just told you why.
Go on the ride with me.
I
Anthony.
just
Can
told you,
trust
I'm
me?
not riding with you. That's the
Okay.
problem. Everybody's riding right now.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing, Anthony. So I don't think that the lack of
That's
procreation.
it. You just said
Can
it.
I-
You
can I
don't
talk?
think. You
Can I-
don't
can I-
think. You just said it.
I don't think that the lack of procreation experienced by individuals
You
engaging.
got to start thinking and start. You're using things that are just way too.
Anthony, can I respond?
You
Thank you.
don't think. I need you to start thinking.
Right, Anthony.
I'm
I
really
could say the
think.
same to you. I'm gonna go ahead and respond. I'd
Not
appreciate it if you let.
overthink.
I'd appreciate it if I could respond without interruption. We got that, pal? Thank you. Right. So you told us that being gay is wrong because gay sex does not lead to procreation.
I didn't say
Right.
that. I didn't say anything about.
Of course you did. You said that it's wrong because if you put 100 gay couples
I
on an
asked
island,
you.
we'd find
I
bones.
asked you if it was wrong.
Okay, Anthony, if that's not why you think being gay is wrong, why do you think being gay is wrong?
Because it's not natural. It's not of nature.
Can you define natural?
The word natural comes from nurture. It's a derivative.
It comes from what? He just fucking left. He didn't get banned by guidelines. He didn't get banned from guidelines. It tells me at the top of my screen. It said guest has left. Bro. Holy shit. Old men, man. Old men. Old men, dude. Honestly, it's like the older people on here are like the hardest to debate because like they have the thickest skulls. And this isn't just like an assumption, it's true. Like old people, it's you can't change their minds. Hey, what's up, man? How old are you? Rory, hello. Hey, what is your age?
18.
18, very
I'm
nice.
18.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
It doesn't matter. Just don't suck cock, mate. It's fucking weird.
Okay, so you think it is wrong. So why do you think it's wrong?
No, I mean, I suppose you can't help yourself if you're gay, though, can you?
Yeah, you cannot choose or change your sexual orientation.
Yeah, I suppose.
So
but
why is it
Darwin
wrong
says
to be
it's
gay?
really good.
So why is it wrong to be gay, Rory?
Because it is not what I believe that it is not.
Okay, my whole
true.
chat's just spamming underage, so we're just gonna go ahead and trust that. Oh my god, guys, think about your positions before I bring you up. You know what I mean? Just give it some critical thought prior. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that this is gonna be the most effective means to have conversation. It's gonna be if y'all give your positions critical thought prior to coming up. What's up, Jaden? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Very nice. What year were you born in?
2005.
Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes, I do.
All right, why so?
Because I feel like to be gay or wrong, you had to have been influenced in some sort of way, or like by somebody that, like, I guess you knew or seen it happen before. Because I recently like had an interaction with somebody that their parents were gay, so they became gay, which I think that being seen as
Right.
you know,
So we're
somebody-
going to see that that's not true. There's going to be no like studies that are going to be indicative of this. All of like the scientific exploration that would exist on sexual orientation would just say, all sexual orientations are caused by how you were biologically designed, right? And now you're saying that you see a gay individual with gay parents. Well, this is plausible.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like even if you didn't have
Can I-
gay parents, you had to have been around somebody that influenced them, or like somebody that was like around them, not like just their parents.
Right. So this isn't true because there is not any scientific exploration or academic studies that would denote this to be the case. In fact, all of the academic studies that would exist on sexual orientations would say that they are caused by how your anatomy is designed.
I mean, by how anatomy is designed, it.
Well,
So,
we'd
you're
see
not
like
wrong there.
dispositions. We'd see dispositions for being gay, like an increased size of your anterior commissure. Varying traits of your hypothalamus or associations on like the XQ23 chromosome within men, right? And like these are the propensities that are like the biological predispositions that would like play a role in determining your sexual orientations. And we see like obvious associations of these traits within gay men in comparison to straight men. And if being gay was just caused by like societal influence, well, society can't influence like the anatomical structure of your brain or your genome. So
I mean,
therefore,
but
we
yet
know
again,
that's not
your
what causes
brain
individuals
grows
to be
with
gay.
what you see and what you learn. So I mean, it's not wrong that even though that is scientifically proven, it could
Well,
not.
that's just misinformation. So what you just said, right? So we do observe neuroplasticity and how like one's environment can like impact their like the physicalities of their brain, all right? But they no neuroplasticity can't change traits of your hypothalamus in such ways, or you can't make the size of your your anterior commissure grow, and especially can't cause associations on the XQ23 chromosome because that has nothing to do with like your neuroanatomy.
Well, that's fair enough. All right, I think that's all I really had to say. But
Cool. I appreciate you for coming up, Jaden.
no problem.
Have a good one. We're going to move on to our next guest. Make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think that being gay is wrong or moral, everybody. We are just looking for some debates here tonight, chat. We are just looking for some debates here tonight, everybody. We got our next guest loading up in here, y'all. Everyone, let's just give him a second. And he's still going to think it's wrong. Bro, so real. It's like you could like prove these individuals wrong, just like academic. Like those are my favorite types of claims to dispute, like the ones about how people become gay, because there's a very like evidentiary based like claim to make on how being gay is caused by biological predispositions, and like people will hear that and they'll just disregard it. It's stupid. What's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I wouldn't say it's really wrong because, like, deep down, I don't believe that because I've, like, come in contact with gay people and I have no problem with them. But
come in contact with gay people. Oh
I mean,
my God.
I don't know any other way to say it, but I just don't like how
talked to you. You know what? Don't worry about it. Well, if you don't think it's wrong,
I just don't like how it's implemented in society. Like, it's kind of pushed on people.
Is being straight pushed on people?
I wouldn't say.
Oh, really?
No.
Wait, how is would you say that religion pushes being straight on people?
Yeah, for sure, but
is religion implemented into society?
I mean, it's totally up to you. It's not really.
Is religion implemented into society?
Well, it depends, like the demographic, like where you're at.
So, I mean, I generally say that religion is implemented into society. I mean, it's even, it's you know, under God, right? So anyways, so what I just simply say is that, yes, being straight and heteronormativity and societal, like norms, would perpetuate this idea that you're supposed to be straight, right? And this is very obviously viewed in society, right? Like, I don't know, heteronormativity, I don't know. All right. So we're going to move on to our next guest because he just left, man. Holy shit. Kaylee, thank you so much for the gingerbread man. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. What's up? How old are you?
26.
Nice. Do you think being gay is wrong or immoral?
No, I don't think it's wrong at all.
Nice, man. Unfortunately, I am just looking for individuals that do disagree, but thank you so much for coming up. We're going to go and talk to our next guest here, guys. Make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think being gay is wrong, y'all. All right, we got our next guest loading up in here. In the meantime, guys, make sure we're double tapping. All right, he's not loading up. We're going to move on to our next guest. Guys, make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think being gay is wrong, everybody. And then also make sure that we have at least a half decent internet connection because I think that is what a lot of people like. What's up, Luke? How old are you? Luke, hello?
Hello?
What's up, Caleb? How old are you?
18.
What?
18.
How do you think? Do you really think I'm going to believe you?
Yeah.
So why do you think being gay is wrong? Just real quick.
Because it's wrong and you should never be gay.
Why, Caleb?
Because.
Okay. I was sorry, guys. I was interested. Obviously underaged. Obviously underaged. Obviously underaged. I was just curious. I've always wanted to see what a people say. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
40.
40. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes.
All right. Why so?
Because the Bible is the Word of God.
The Bible is not the word of God. So how does the Bible? So does the Bible say that being gay is wrong?
Yes.
Which verse?
Many.
Name one.
Romans 1, 1 Corinthians 6, 1 Timothy 1, Leviticus 18.
Okay, yeah, Romans 1 is a misinterpretation of Greek Roman society. Paul's original intention of writing that is to condemn prostitution in the form of like male prostitution. We would typically observe like rich older men. I'm gonna go to and continue responding. I'm gonna go to repeat myself. So Romans 1 doesn't condemn being gay, it condemns prostitution in the form of like adultery, right? Because in the context of Greek Roman society, the only form of like man-on-man intercourse that we saw was like outside of the confines of marriage and was in the form of prostitution. So like this is obviously gonna be wrong for other reasons than the fact that it's same sex. And then what we'd see in Corinthians and Timothy is mistranslations of the Greek words arseniokai and malakoi. In fact, in these verses, the first time we saw the Bible condemning being gay was in 1946. So the original Greek doesn't condemn being gay. And then when you reference Leviticus, well, I don't think you're going to hold to, the Old Testament in general, right? Not to mention Leviticus 18:1-3 specifically states that all of Levitican law was only for the ancient Israelites, and we're not ancient nor are we Israelite, therefore that Levitican law doesn't apply to us. Therefore, you can't use 18:22 to say that being gay is wrong, for us at least.
Okay, Dean, just slow down a second. Hold on now. Okay, now, first of all, Romans 1 is not just talking about what you said it's talking about. If you read it naturally, you will not be able to come across what you just said. Okay? In fact, Paul specifically made up a term, arsenokoitai.
Arsenokoitai is in Corinthians, not Romans. Get your fucking facts straight, buddy. But continue.
Okay, sure. So if you just read what Romans says, let's take a look here. Okay. So, for God's wrath is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and righteousness of people who are unrighteousness suppress the truth. Since what can be known about God is evident through them, because God has shown it to them. And then it goes down.
Bro, I've read the entirety of the Bible. I've read all of Romans. If you want to repeat it to me, you can, right? But this doesn't change the fact that like the sexual immoralities listed within Romans, specifically the one talking about homosexuality. When Paul was writing Romans, this homosexuality that he was talking about was like prostitution, right? Because we only saw marriage between a man and a woman, and consent didn't exist. A man could do whatever he wanted with a woman when they were married under like Greek Roman society. So therefore, the only real quote unquote form of intercourse that we saw was between a man and a woman in the confines of marriage. So anything outside of the context of that would have been wrong. Specifically in the case of man-on-man intercourse in the context of Greek Roman society, that was wrong because of that reason, then also because it was adultery in the form of prostitution. So this is why Paul was condemning it, not because it was same sex. Right. So you're more so just correlating the fact that it was same sex, but like this variable of being same sex was not what would make it wrong in the context of Romans.
Right. But the thing is that you're having to force that in from the outside. You're starting with that conclusion and then forcing it upon the text. Now, let me actually read what the text said.
No, this is new. This is adding nuance and context to the text.
No.
Right? So this is better understanding the intention and the context of the authors of the Bible to better address what these individuals meant while writing.
Right.
And this is going to be a rational assumption, is this is what is most likely to be true given the context of Greek Roman society.
No, the problem is that, see, Paul assumed the ongoing validity of the Old Testament law. So he would not have been assuming what you are assuming about the Old Testament law. So let's start with that assumption. So Paul quoted the validity of the Old Testament law all throughout the New Testament. So he would not have contradicted himself in Romans 1. Now, just hold on a second and let me read you what it actually says, okay? Let's try not to read in from the outside all these assumptions of modern secularism, okay? Hold on a second. Okay, for this reason, we'll start in verse 26. For this reason, what reason? Therefore, starting verse 24, therefore God delivered them over in the desires of their hearts to sexual impurity, so that their bodies were degraded among themselves. Listen, this is the key verse. Now, hold on. Don't say anything. Just listen. They exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served what has been created instead of the Creator.
Presley, thank you so much for the $7 over Venmo. I'm really not
For
listening.
this reason,
I'm acting
God
like I am
delivered them over to disgraceful passions. Their women exchanged natural sexual relations for
Hey guys, can we get a 666W in the chat? Just go ahead, continue.
the men. Sure, the men in the same way also left. Wait for it. Natural relations with women, not with children, and were inflamed in their lust for one another. Men committed shameless.
Dude, I'm
acts
so
with
sorry.
women
I listen.
received
I've
their
read
own
Romans
person.
so much.
Okay, well, apparently you
I'm
haven't.
so sick of the Bible study. Listen, I've
Apparently-
already repeated this. So yeah, you made a couple of claims that I'd obviously like to address. So first of all, no, adding context and nuance to like Paul's intentions when writing Romans is very important, as this would lead to like most likely assumptions regarding like the text and what it means and like what we should infer from it, right? And then we say like Paul has like mentioned Mosaic law within the New Testament. Yes, this is true. However, like specifically Leviticus 18 and the following laws surrounding sexual immoralities, we could also add context to these, and specifically the sexual immorality of homosexuality denoted in Leviticus 18 serve the purpose of condemning the Egyptians and the Canaanites for practicing ritualistic same-sex orgies to pray to their quote-unquote false gods, right? So like we just see like this various context being added to the scripture to show how like in all these places where it condemns being gay, well, what it's actually talking about are extraneous variables associated with specific actions. Like in the case of Leviticus, it's being gay for the purpose of worshiping false gods, or in the context of Romans, it's being gay for the purpose of committing adultery and indulging in prostitution. So I mean, it's you just got to add the nuance, man.
Hello. I appreciate you having me up. I really do. And so, yeah.
Hey Ed, thank you so much for the $6.66 over Venmo. Thank you so much. Let's get a W Ed for the 666 on Venmo, guys. W Ed 666. How do you feel about that, guys?
I feel about what?
Ed sending me $6.66 over Venmo.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter much because I'm not Nero Caesar, so, and that's what it represents. So it's all good. But still, you haven't really refuted the point because Paul.
Oh my God.
Clearly.
Okay, listen, I have a better route. I did completely refute the point. How do you know that the Bible is accurate and determine what's morally right and wrong?
Sure, because unless you assume the truth of the biblical worldview, you can't make sense of anything whatsoever, including the claim that the Bible is false.
David, thank you so much for the $6.66 over Venmo. I appreciate you, David. Thank you so much. So that's obviously false. You can make sense of the world without assuming the Bible to be true. And like, I think assuming the Bible to be true is actually going to lead you to a sense of having like a more delusional understanding of the world. Like, for instance, it's mentioned in the Bible that the earth is flat. It's mentioned in the Bible that there a firmament or some type of dome would exist. In the book of Enoch, which would be like a written tangential like source of biblical scripture, even though it's not within like the official Bible anywhere outside of like outside of Ecuador, like we'd see mentions of like a literal earth that's flat with four corners. It's just like, no, I'd say that accepting the Bible to be true would actually lead to more absurd conclusions about reality compared to the negation.
Well,
Christian, thank you for the $6.66 over Venmo. Thank you so much.
Sure. You would need to obviously know that when it talks about four corners, it's not talking about four literal corners. It's talking about the entirety of that area. So, I mean, there's all sorts of, figures.
Spear, I appreciate you for the resubscription. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you know that the Bible is true and dictating what's morally right and wrong?
Sure. I've already told you that without it, you couldn't make sense of anything, including the claim.
That's not true.
That the
I make
Bible-
sense of things. I make sense of things, right?
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think it's true. So.
Do you think logic is a thing?
Yep.
Is logic invariant?
What does that mean?
Is it always true?
So the laws of logic are always true indeed.
Now, how do you get that in an atheist worldview? You can't.
Wait, no, because we'd observe consistency within reality with the laws of logic, right? So a squared circle can exist, A can equal not A, and A will always equal A. And then something it has to either be true or false.
Right. The problem is
Claims
that
that are truth apt.
is that
I mean, these. So we're gonna always observe consistency between these
Right.
related notions.
right. The problem is that the laws of logic aren't contingent, where the laws of physics are. So you're not actually explaining it. The laws of logic are not contingent, which you're saying you base it off contingent experience, but you cannot get the laws of logic off contingent experience.
The laws of laws are contingent. The laws of laws are contingent upon like this like consistency observed within the external reality.
So A could possibly not equal non-A.
No.
1 plus 1 equals 2 could possibly be false. That's what you're saying. So you're just going to disallow science altogether?
No, I'm saying that like
to the microphone.
yeah, so like our conceptualizations of the laws of logic, like the propositions in which we use to refer to like this observed natural phenomena, are just contingent upon that observed natural phenomena.
Okay. Well,
I'm just explaining to you.
no, you're not.
the
No,
laws
you're
of
not
logic are-
explaining.
I don't understand your argument at all.
No. Well, the problem is that the laws of logic are not contingent. Now, if you say they are, then you
Can
disallow.
you define? What do you mean by that?
You want me to explain what the laws of logic are?
What do you mean when you say they aren't contingent, and how this like play into like proof for?
Sure. I mean that they are universal, invariant, unchanging.
Right.
They cannot possibly be false.
Right.
So when you say the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, etc., these things have to be the case.
Yep.
Now, the problem is that
for this reality, yep.
Given atheism, given any reality where God does not exist, these cannot possibly be the case because everything is contingent. So you have to try to fit non-contingent laws in with completely contingent reality. And that is, of course, the problem. So I have no problem explaining universal law.
Oh yeah. So
but of course you do.
The laws of the laws of logic can be separated into two categories, right? So the first category is like what we define as the laws of logic, like the three previous mentioned laws, and the second category is just going to be the consistency in reality that is observed, right? That we would draw those laws from. But like that actual consistency of saying like a square circle can exist has no contingencies, right? It just simply cannot.
Right, but the problem is the second category you said is not actually logical laws; it's physical laws.
Wait, no. Those are like no. So the laws of logic are like propositions that we would are like propositions in like language that we would like. The laws of logic are language that we would use to describe this observed phenomena.
Well,
like it's a phenomena that matters. It's not the language.
Yeah.
The phenomena doesn't possess any contingencies.
Right, but the laws of logic actually come from the nature of God. Is the point, and that's the reason that.
Yeah. Can you give evidence of that?
Can you give evidence of your point?
What my point being that like this comes from natural phenomena observed within reality? Yeah, because this is how we would document any type of universal axioms that would exist within the external world.
Sure.
This is going to be true under your worldview as well, right? But you're asserting a positive claim that they would come from the nature of God, and I'm asking you to justify that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, God tells us clearly in the Bible what's the case, and we can obviously.
How do you know that the Bible's true?
Because without it, you cannot know anything at all.
I don't accept that. I think that's false. You can know things without a God, because a God doesn't exist, and I know things. Therefore, you can't know things without a God.
No, is.
Can you justify that we wouldn't know anything if the Bible wasn't true?
Sure, of course. If the Bible was not true, you could not justify laws of logic.
I want you to justify that you want to be able to justify the laws of logic without a God. I don't accept that.
Well, because without a God, again, I've already done this. So without God, atheism is true. If atheism is true, all things are contingent.
Yeah, can you like explain to me what you mean by that and justify that?
If I'm trying,
Because I don't think all things are contingent. I hold
Okay.
to universal axioms.
well, the problem is
They're
that
irreducible truths.
you have to give
No, you
an
don't.
atheism because
Nope, you don't.
there's no principle by which you can get something that is non-contingent given atheism. So
Nope, that's
given-
not true. Right? I feel like universal axioms can exist.
Okay, well, by what principle could they possibly exist given the
Right.
fact that all things are governed by matter in motion, contingent forces in motion?
Wait, but by what principle would you say universal axioms can exist? Yeah, because the
Given the-
laws of logic are not governed by these same aspects as they do not exist within the empirical world, right? They're of a rational they are of a rational kind, and that is which is of a rational kind is not governed by matter nor emotion, right? So you are making a category error by applying the governance of matter and motion to like claims of rationalism.
No, see, the problem is that you are assuming those principles of rationality, but you can't justify them given your physicalist presupposition.
Wait, so they're axiomatic. I've already explained this, right? So
Okay,
I don't feel like meta
then God is
justification is
act-
required.
Then God is axiomatic for me.
Right,
Okay.
he is for you.
If we wanna
God is
play that
axiomatic
game.
for you.
Okay.
God is axiomatic for you.
Okay,
so now
so
prove
then
that God
God
exists.
exists. No.
Right, so give evidence.
God is axiomatic. He exists. You just did the same thing. So if we're going to play that game, then I'm going to say God is axiomatic for me, therefore he exists.
Right, but see, the thing is that I could give evidence of the existence of like the laws of logic through the consistency in nature, right? Because the laws of logic can be like documented through observable phenomena. So would there
No,
be any
that's-
observable phenomena that could document like the existence of God?
No.
No,
You're not-
I mean, no.
Hold
So
on.
what you're trying to run, I just want to explain this. So this is called presup, right? And like presup is not going to be a good argument. And for your first of all, you're not running it right. I just wanted to denote that as well. All right. So like basically what you're trying to say is that like there must be like some mind in which the laws of logic must be contingent upon prior to the point that a mind existed. And under atheism, like this is going to be like prior to the point when humanity existed. All right. Because obviously the laws of logic would still be true. So therefore that mind must have been the mind of God. However, like, yeah, the simple response to this is that the laws of logic in and of themselves aren't contingent on a mind, right? Like, yeah, the language in which we use to refer to them are, but the observable consistency in reality is not contingent upon anything. So under like my atheistic worldview, like the observable phenomena, that would be documented by the laws of logic does not possess a contingency.
So again, I appreciate that. I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going. It's late. But what'd she say? Okay. Anywho.
I mean, just precept's a bad argument to run for God. It's just,
Well-
it's just not.
Well,
There's
the
just
problem,
so many other arguments that are like so much more convincing than precept.
well, the problem is that what you think precept is and what I think precept is are two vastly different things.
So this thing can exist without a contingency under my atheistic worldview. Like that's what
So-
I'm asserting. Like the
yeah.
laws of logic don't have a contingency under my atheistic worldview.
So yeah, the problem is that the laws of logic have to be
Why?
invariable.
Wait, why does invariability imply that without why? So yeah, why must they be variable under the atheistic worldview?
So, I mean, if you're going to know anything at all, you have to have some unchanging laws by which you justify all the.
Yeah, I'm asking you why these laws must be changing. Like, why is it necessary that the laws of logic must change or must be of a variable nature under the atheistic worldview?
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, good question. So the reason is because there cannot be any consistency. There is no unchanging standard given the atheistic paradigm is the problem.
Right.
And
Right. However, what we're already saying is that these would exist without contingency, so a standard isn't necessary.
no, I never said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm accepting that there's no unchanging standard of like a creator, as you would assume like your God to exist within eternity outside of time. However, this wouldn't present like a problem for the theistic worldview because like the laws of logic aren't going to like necessitate like a contingency to said standard.
So, in your worldview, you believe in the laws of logic, yet the laws of logic are contingent.
No, they are not contingent.
Okay, so then how do they exist given your atheistic worldview? Are they like, are they Aristotelian ideas? Are they?
No, the laws of logic are not ideas, right? The laws, like when I refer to this idea of the laws of logic, I'm talking about the consistency that exists within reality to necessitate reality, right? So I'm not talking about like the language or the ideas. We're talking about like the consistency in the reality.
Right, and
I've
that's
already explained this.
right, and that's what I've already explained to you is that you're talking about physics. The problem is with you're trying to extrapolate from physics logical laws. The problem is that and John Stuart Mill already took care of this. Okay, you cannot extrapolate from physical laws logical laws because you can extrapolate from contingent physical interactions logical necessary interactions. It's just not possible. So to the extent
Why
that
not?
you continue to try
Why not?
to do
Why
that,
not? Wait, well, 1 second. Why not?
okay, if I have to explain it, then that proves
Yeah,
the
I
point.
disagree with you.
Okay, so how are you going to extrapolate from contingent physical laws? All they have is contingent physical properties to necessary non-physical.
Yeah, because it is
There's
impossible
no way to
for
bridge
these.
that gap.
Yeah, of course there is. I'm explaining it right now because it is impossible for these contingent physical properties to ever exist in such a formulation where they would be in violation of like said laws of logic, right? So we're basically reducing these contingent physical properties to what would be like improbable. Like we're like assuming in metaphysics, right? We're saying like there is a 0% potentiality for like these contingent physical laws to be in accordance against or to be against like said laws of logic, and this is just what we'd be extrapolating the laws of logic out of, right? So just we're reducing those contingent physical laws into what would be impossible provided that they're true. And then these impossibilities would be the laws of logic.
Right. I appreciate that, but I still don't think that bridges that gap.
Yes, it does. It bridges the gap. We are provided that these contingencies that exist within the physical world are true, provided that they're true, we are then extrapolating or reducing them to what is impossible, provided that they're true, right? And then what is impossible, right, is then documented and then turned into the laws of logic.
Right.
Since it's impossible
But
for
you're-
these contingent physical properties to exist in such a manner to produce a squared circle, right, we now know that this will hold consistent. So therefore, a squared circle cannot exist. Therefore, a contradiction can exist. I mean, it's just, yes, that is how we extrapolate like some form of like rationalism from physicalism is
Sure.
by just observing what would be metaphysically impossible.
Right. Good point. So but the problem is that you're actually assuming logic at the beginning to make that claim. But second of
No,
all,
wait, no, we're not assuming logic. We're reducing
no,
logic.
I'm saying you're assuming a squared circle is a contradiction. So you run that out to the end, and you say you can't have a squared circle. But the problem is that you're already assuming that a squared circle is a contradiction.
No,
before
we're not
you get
assuming
there.
it's a contradiction. We're labeling it as a contradiction.
And so,
No, wait, so I want to clarify this. This isn't assumed to be a contradiction, right? It's shown to be impossible, then labeled as a contradiction.
right now, a deeper problem for atheism, aside from that, from the laws of logic, would be the impossibility of science, or the impossibility of induction, which of course is kind of wrapped up in this whole idea of logic.
How long did you talk to Parker today?
I did for a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to move on to the next guest because if Parker already had a conversation with you and I'm coming up on like 40 minutes with a conversation with you, I'm just gonna move on to the next guest. I do appreciate you for the conversation on Precept though. It's actually my first time ever engaging with Precept.
Thank you, Dean. I appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
Of course, appreciate you for coming up. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next guest. But I mean, yeah, I mean, not like a terrible position, but I definitely do think that it's true that like we can reduce like contingent physical properties, and then like extrapolate like some like form of like rationalistic ideals. You know what I mean? Like we're saying it's impossible for these contingent physical properties to exist in such a fashion, and this is consistently held to be true. So therefore it can never exist in such a fashion. That's all that is like being stated. But we're gonna move on to our next guest here, chat. Sorry for kind of like boring y'all through that. We might have to hit a restart after that conversation. We might have to hit a restart after that conversation, chat. I'm sorry, you guys. I was just having fun. What's up, Joey? How old are you? Tom, thank you so much for the Autumn Leafs. What's up, Joey? How old are you? Okay, Joey's not here. We're gonna move on to our next guest. Yeah, we may have to hit a restart after that conversation. I'm not gonna lie, that shit completely killed this stream. I should not have let that go on for as long as it did. Why did I move on, Eldine? Well, Parker apparently already talked to him earlier today. So, all right. This guest isn't loading up. We're gonna move on to our next guest. Yeah, guys, we might hit a restart here in like the next 5 minutes, but we're just gonna try to figure it out without said restart. But yeah, but we'll see what we could do, chat. We'll see what we could do. We'll see what we could do. Hey, what's up? How old are you? Okay, guys, I don't know why none of the guests are here. I don't know why none of the guests are here. We're gonna try one more guest if they don't load up. We're gonna go ahead and hit a quick restart. Then like, what time is it right now? It is 9:39. We may just get off for the night here soon. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Hi.
Okay.
Sorry, really quick question.
Hey, how old are you?
Okay, I am 2 years younger than what you say, but I've got a really quick question.
Unfortunately, just send it to me in DMs or over Discord. I'd be more than happy to address it, but unfortunately, you do have to be 18 to be on TikTok Live. But I do appreciate you for coming up here. We're gonna go ahead and get our next guest. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, sweet. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2005.
Very nice. So why do you think being gay is wrong or immoral?
Due to my religion.
Yeah, what is your religion?
Christianity.
Yeah, can you name a verse in the Christian Bible that says it's wrong to be gay?
Leviticus 18 verse 22.
Okay, so Leviticus is a reliable standard for what's morally right and wrong. Like Leviticus does tell us what we should and shouldn't do. All right. So do you think like we should like enslave people?
Actually, the last time I was on live with you, you asked me this exact question, and that's why I was kicked because of community guidelines.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think we should enslave people?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, why? Because I thought Leviticus was a
And
reliable
I have
standard.
the exact answer for you.
One second. I thought that Leviticus was a reliable standard for telling us what we should and shouldn't do, right? And Leviticus 25 says that we should enslave people, right?
Yes, I know.
So therefore,
I know,
you'd be
but-
contradicting
but-
like this standard of like telling us what's right and wrong.
But, so the Bible tells us what is right and wrong, but current day, it isn't like that. So current day in the law, it says that slavery is wrong.
No, it says that
Right.
slavery is illegal. It doesn't say that slavery is wrong. It says that slavery is illegal.
It's illegal,
Continue.
yes. It's illegal, right?
Hmm?
So, since it's illegal, it isn't right.
Okay, is being gay illegal?
No, it isn't. But
Okay, so then
it doesn't
therefore
mean
being
that
gay
it
is-
cannot be forgiven.
Wait, one second. You just told us that if something's illegal, it isn't right.
Oh, wait.
Being gay isn't illegal, therefore being gay isn't right.
It isn't right, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be forgiven.
Therefore, wait, one second. No, because you just told us that slavery is wrong because it's illegal, right? And then you told us
Yes.
what is illegal isn't right. So therefore, since being gay is not illegal, being gay is right.
Being gay is wrong due to the Bible, but it doesn't mean it can't be forgiven in heaven.
Wait. Okay, well then your objection to the slavery notion made no sense, right? Because you're appealing to legality and you're appealing to the Bible. Those two things can't work in tandem, right? You can't appeal to the law and appeal to the Bible at the same time, right? And like the reason that I asked you if Leviticus was a reliable standard for telling us what we should and shouldn't do, well, Leviticus tells us that we shouldn't be gay, and this is where you draw this conclusion that being gay is wrong. But Leviticus also tells us that we should enslave people. So therefore, if you are to remain consistent, you must also like draw this conclusion that you should enslave people, right?
Right.
Right. So do you yield that conclusion? Or do you think slavery is okay?
No.
Wait, why? So then therefore Leviticus is not a
Because-
reliable standard for 1 second. So if you don't think that slavery is okay, if you disagree with the Leviticus, you no longer find Leviticus to be a reliable standard of telling us what's right and wrong. So therefore this is a bad basis for making moral claims, right? So now that you've just essentially conceded that Leviticus is not a reliable standard for telling us what we should and shouldn't do, right? Like I'd just ask you why you use an unreliable standard for what's right and wrong to dictate what's right and wrong. That doesn't seem to make much sense.
Yeah, I realized what I did didn't make sense.
All right, anything else?
That previous guy just like killed my brain. Anyways, I'll just
Anything
send it to you in DMs.
Okay. All right, chat, we're going to go ahead and hit a quick restart on the stream, y'all. I don't know quite what's going on here tonight, but we're going to try to figure it out together. I mean, well, honestly, I do know what's going on. I think it's because of the last guest. We just had a long conversation about precepts, so we're going to go ahead and restart. And honestly, no, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth the restart, chat. We're just going to keep it fucking going. We're just gonna keep it going, you guys. We're just gonna keep it going. It's not even worth the restart because I only have like another like 30 minutes or so. I only have like about another 30 minutes or so before I get off, so it's not even worth the restart. What's up, Zach? How old are you? Okay, Zach's not here. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think being gay is wrong or moral. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can. What's your age?
Hi, I just turned 18.
Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yeah.
All right, why so?
Well, from what I know, isn't the whole purpose of life to like procreate and make babies and all that stuff?
Oh, is that what you think the purpose of life is?
I
And like
think
being gay
so.
is okay. So yeah, what if a gay man has a kid?
Can gay men have kids?
Yeah, gay men aren't infertile.
But like, I don't know if you know, but like they influence it in schools.
Okay, so are you just gonna completely ignore your first point? Brady, I appreciate you for the hand.
What was your question?
Are you just, okay? So you just completely pivoted around the first point. So you told us that being gay is wrong because the purpose of life is to have kids. Well, would you say if a gay man has a biological offspring that it'd be wrong to be gay in this instance? Okay, they just left. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest, chat. Make sure if we are in those guest requests, we do think it is wrong or moral to be gay, everybody. Wow. All right, moving on to our next guest, you guys. Moving on to our next guest. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest has to say, y'all. Yeah, run. They are running tonight. What's up, Sav? How old are you?
Yo, I'm 23.
23. Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
No, bro, but I want to debate with you.
Unfortunately, if you don't think it's wrong, I don't really know what we'd have to debate about. Appreciate you for coming up. We're going to go and move on to our next guest here, you guys. All right. What's up, Riley? How old are you?
18.
Very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
Yeah.
Why so? Okay. You can't go on pause. You can't go on. Okay. All right. I guess he just wanted to tell us that he thought it was wrong. Chat, we are running out of guest requests, everybody. We are running out of guest requests, y'all. We are running out of guest requests. What's up, Star? How we doing? Yeah, very much. We're just running out of guest requests here today. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet.
What the fuck? Okay, moving on to our next guest, y'all. We are just having some issues finding some guests here tonight, chat. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on, chat. No fucking clue. What's up? What's your age, buddy? Appreciate. I don't like the sound of whatever that was. I hope that y'all didn't hear that. I hope that y'all didn't hear that. Thank you for the snowman. I really hope that you guys did not hear that. What's up? How old are you?
Me, I'm 18.
18, very nice. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes.
All right, why so, man?
Because in like almost every holy book, it says that gay is being wrong, and in some countries you can get beheaded for being gay.
No way, really? So
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Are you religious?
Am I religious? Yes,
What's your
but
religion?
I'm Christian, but I have not
Okay,
read
where-
the Bible yet.
Okay, so where in your holy book does it say it's wrong to be gay?
I haven't read the Bible, but I know in the Bible it says you will be stoned, like put in the ground and stones dashed to your head if you're gay.
Yeah, which verse?
Which verse? I don't know, but I know it says in there somewhere.
All right, wait, would you stone a gay person?
Not personally.
Wait, why? Are you going to contradict your God?
No, because
Wait, no, no,
I
no,
don't
no, no,
think-
no, 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 no. If the Bible says gay people are going to be stoned, right, you better be willing to stone a gay person, right?
Yes, but
So, but you told us you wouldn't stone a gay person.
I wouldn't.
Wait, why? I thought that's what your Bible tells you to do.
It doesn't tell you. It says that they will be stoned. It doesn't say who's going to.
Do you think that gay people should get stoned?
Am I gonna get banned if I say that though? Because that's
No,
like
answer the question. Do you think if two men kiss, that both of those men deserve to get stoned to death?
in other countries your head would be chopped off. So yeah, I
No,
guess.
in this country.
What country? I'm from the UK.
Right. In the UK, do you think that two men kiss, they should be, stoned to death?
Yes.
Oh, right. You're absolutely unbelievable, right? So, first of all, no, this is crazy prejudice. Second of all, there's not gonna the Bible does not say this. Third of all, you are unable to provide me with a specific passage or a specific verse to substantiate your claims. Fourth of all, this is more so going to be ingrained prejudice within you, and like you were trying to justify this ignorant with religion. And fifth of all, just because a country says that something's wrong and punishes it doesn't mean it's actually wrong. Yeah, multiple countries punish a woman going outside without a man. So, would you say would you say that it's wrong to go outside as a woman without a man because multiple countries will punish women for doing that?
Nah, I feel like women should be allowed to go outside. That's
Wait.
a peak.
Oh, okay, but why? This wouldn't be following under your logic. Because you told us that you think being gay is wrong because multiple countries in the world punish gay people. Jillian Singer, I appreciate you for that subscription. So what would follow from this logic is that, well, multiple other countries in the world punish women for going outside without a man. So therefore, you should yield the same conclusion that a woman going outside without a man's wrong.
Well, I think other countries, what they do to gay people, I wouldn't say it's okay, but they're doing what they're doing. But to go outside with a woman, or like a woman without being with a man, I feel like it's just a bit mad because they only let people start driving in like some other countries like a couple of years ago. It's mad.
Okay, so you're completely missing the point. You're unironically completely missing the point. So if you think that
Can you
being gay is
re-enlighten me?
I don't even want to, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even want to.
And also, before you kick me,
I'm not gonna
before
kick you.
Basically, I can't lie. I think sometimes your debates, they're more of arguments because some people don't have patience.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, but anyways, if you're just saying gay is wrong because it says so in the Bible, how do you know that the Bible's a reliable standard for dictating what's true and false?
Because there's like a lot of people that follow it.
A lot of people that follow it. Okay, yeah, in the year 2050, more individuals will follow the religion of Islam than Christianity. And if you're basing the justification for Christianity off of how many people follow it, would you say in 2050 Islam is going to be more true than Christianity because more people follow it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's delusional. And yeah, at the time when Christianity was founded, Christianity was amongst the smallest religions in the world. So you're saying that Christianity was not true when Jesus died on the cross, which is just absurd.
So I said Christianity is not true.
Yeah, if you're basing like the truth factor of Christianity based upon how many people follow it, well, no one followed it at the beginning apart from the 12 disciples, right? A very small amount of people followed it. So therefore, would you say that Christianity was very unlikely to be true when there's only 12 followers of it?
No, I feel like it is true.
Okay, so therefore it doesn't seem like the amount of individuals that follow a religion would dictate it to be true or false. So if that's not what would dictate it to be true or false, then what would?
That's a bit of a sticky question still. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you need to put critical thought. If you're going to hold to the claim that gay people should be stoned to death, you should maybe put a little bit of critical thought into that. Because, like, what if you are just wrongfully accusing individuals to fucking death for doing as they wish to do when it doesn't harm anyone?
Yeah.
Maybe, have you ever thought about that? I don't know. Like, maybe you should just realize that you're confused. You
I
lack
feel like-
justification for your claims, and you should provoke critical thought and examination of your preconceived biases and prejudices. I don't know. Just an
Okay,
idea.
but I feel like that if you're gay and you kiss another man, that's like saying you're gay if you kiss your dad. I feel like if you actually fuck another man, you should be killed or whatever they do in other countries.
Yeah, why?
Why? Whatever the country's reason is for killing the people.
Oh, so yeah, was slavery justified in the U.S. when that was legal? Because I'm sure they had a reason. Because that's effectively what
Why
you're
is
saying.
this
You're
about
saying
slavery, though?
these countries in the Middle East are justified in killing gay people because they probably have good reason to do so. So is slavery justified in America?
Yeah, but
because
that's like
they
saying
probably
all
had good reason to do
Americans
so?
think people in the Middle East are terrorists. Like,
What? No,
you
I
started
don't.
off
I
with
don't.
American
I don't see the
and
equivalence.
American
I don't see the
slavery.
equivalence whatsoever. I literally don't see the equivalence to those two
So
statements
how has this gone
whatsoever.
from is gay being wrong to America and slavery?
Yeah, because we're examining your principle. You're saying that like Saudi Arabia is justified in killing gay people because they probably have a good reason to unalive gay people, right?
Mm.
All right. So was the U.S. justified in enslaving black people because they
There's a
probably had a
difference
good
between
reason?
slavery and killing people, though.
Wait, but there's not a difference in the forms of justification provided, right?
It would a justification for enslaving people and a justification for chopping people's heads off for two different things.
No, not under your worldview, right? Because you're saying like a country can put whatever they want into law, and what's legal and what's illegal is what's right and wrong.
No, because I feel like some laws are stupid. Some laws are like really
Bro, no, you're saying that being gay is wrong because some countries think it's wrong. So
yeah,
was
and are you going to
slavery
disagree
okay?
with a country?
So yes, I am. It was
You're
slavery.
disagreeing with a country.
Yes. I have a question for you. Was slavery okay when a lot of countries thought that slavery was okay?
No.
Oh, so then we see your principle
But then
does
if
not
I
work.
said it was
No.
okay, I'd be a
If
bad
being
person.
gay is wrong because some countries think it's wrong, then being gay, then slavery was okay when a lot of countries thought it was okay. And then also,
No.
this is also just going to be contradictory, right? Because some countries don't think that being gay is wrong. So which country is right? The country that thinks that being gay is wrong, or the country that doesn't think that being gay is wrong?
Again, that's another hard question because I'll be real, is being gay right or wrong? I feel like it is wrong, but personally, it's about your decision.
Why do you think it's wrong?
Why? Because multiple countries think it's wrong, but as well, multiple countries think it's right.
So sweet. What we see is a very unreliable standard for dictating
But
what is moral and
the
immoral.
majority of
Then
countries
also
think
using
that's wrong.
using countries' preferences or like legal codes to justify moral claims is very poor.
But the
'Cause there
majority of countries do not agree with gay people.
Okay, yeah, there's a time in which majority of countries thought that slavery was okay. When majority of countries thought
Okay.
that slavery was slavery okay?
No, but why are we going back to slavery now?
Because it's analogous in principle.
But there's a big difference between racism and homophobia.
I could give you the study that shows that if there exists more than like a 30 IQ gap between you and the individual that you're talking to, effective communication.
Bro, you're disagreeing with the whole country, bro.
Bro, let me talk real quick.
That makes you delusional.
Let me talk. There's studies that exist that show if there exists over a 30 IQ gap between yourself and the individual that you're engaging in conversation with, effective communication cannot be had, right? And I think that 30 or more IQ gap exists in the context of our conversation. Why do I think this? It's because you are unable to like understand what an analogy is, right? When you're saying that being gay is wrong because majority of countries thinks that it's wrong, but then you don't see like the analogous nature of saying that slavery is okay because majority of countries think that slavery is okay, I don't even know how to have like conversation with you. Like,
Okay, can I ask you something?
like if you can't understand that, like I don't know where to go from here.
All right, cool. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is being racist illegal?
Is being racist illegal? Yeah, we would see like
Yes,
we would
yes.
see like racist activities banned under like the civil rights movement,
Yeah, yeah,
pertaining
cool,
to
cool.
like property rights, business ownership, etc.
Is being homophobic illegal?
Is being homophobic? Yeah, we would see like similar protections
Oh.
against like certain forms of discrimination on the basis of protected
Yeah, but if you call someone an F slur, like,
yeah, this is gonna be considered like derogatory and hate speech.
is it? Oh, well, in the UK,
yeah,
you
like
can
probably.
just shout at someone and you'll get hated on, but you won't get arrested for being homophobic.
Okay, so is that why being homophobic isn't wrong? Because you can't get arrested for it?
No, but I'm saying like
Okay, so then what's the
being
relevance of the
racist.
statement?
Because you asked me if slavery was something about this. Or
And
was
yeah,
it
you will
because
get
of
arrested for that.
countries?
You will get arrested for that, by the way.
For what?
Yeah, for like yelling any slur.
What, the F slur?
Yeah.
You'll get arrested. What is the
It's a hate crime. It's hate speech. It's illegal. I don't know what the penalty is. I don't even see the relevance of that. Because even if you couldn't get arrested for it,
Because I'm comparing racism.
I'm gonna go ahead and
to
finish. I'm gonna go ahead and finish. Yeah, I don't see the relevance of that because even if you couldn't get arrested for screaming a slur, doesn't mean that screaming said slur wasn't wrong.
Yeah, but you're comparing racism and homophobia.
Yeah, in the context of your argument, because you're attempting to justify your homophobia by countries thinking that your homophobia is okay, right? So would it be okay for a YT supremacist in the year the year 1860 to justify his YT supremacy because majority of countries thinking that his YT supremacy is okay, right? Or
No.
trying to justify his ownership of slaves because majority of countries thinks that his ownership of slaves is okay. Obviously not, right? So we're just looking at the principle that you are attempting to use to justify your position. And if you can't see this analogy, it really makes me want to ask you a question along the lines of how many continents there are, or at what temperature in Fahrenheit water would freeze.
What temperature water would freeze? 0 degrees.
Very, very nice, man. Very, very nice.
I'm not a dickhead, bro. But can I just
I fail. What
Go on.
What did you just say?
I said, can I just say? And then I said, go on. Like, carry on what you're saying.
Okay. I think he's talking about Celsius. He's in the UK. He's in the UK.
Yeah,
He's in the
I'm
UK.
talking about Celsius, you man, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So how long was the 300 Years' War?
How long was the 300 years of war? I don't study history.
You don't know how
I
long the
haven't done
300 Year War
history.
was?
I haven't done history in ages, bro.
So you don't know how long the 300-year-long war was?
The 300-year-long war.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe a war is 300 years long. 3 generations of people had a war.
You think a generation is 100 years?
So their kids, well, it's around that.
What's the average income of an individual?
Average income around £36,000 a year. Maybe different if you're in the US.
Okay.
Average is about 30k a year.
How many continents are there?
How many continents are there? I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
You're a real interesting feller. He's a real interesting feller. Let's see here. Who is the last prime minister of the United Kingdom?
Boris Johnson. Bojo. Gotta love Bojo, man.
Oh, you're a Bojo fan.
Nah, I'm joking. Vegan sausage roll. Get me?
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna move on to our next guest. And that also wasn't the last prime minister. That also wasn't the last prime minister of the fucking UK. Yeah, that was like Liz Truss who replaced him, then quit after a minute. So It was, he didn't even know. He didn't even fucking know the last prime minister of his own goddamn country, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. All right, chat. We're gonna go ahead and end it for the night. We're gonna go ahead and end it for the night on here. We're gonna go right over to the second account. I don't know like why the stream died off so fucking fast today. I have like no clue why this occurred, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and head over to that second account, everybody. Guys, if you do want to come hang out with me on that second account, y'all, the ad is It's Not Dean. In fact, can someone in the comment section like comment the ad for that second account right now so I can pin it to show everyone that's hanging out in the live here tonight? Lizzie, I appreciate you for the heart me. Can someone pin Stuck at 1.2k? I do it, I know. Can someone pin that at? Oh, It's Not Dean. There we go. All right, you guys, we're gonna head over to It's Not Dean on TikTok right now, y'all. We're gonna head over there literally right now. We're gonna be going live. We're gonna be having some fun, doing a little bit of a Q&A, hanging out with the stream, maybe doing some battles. It's a fun way to support me, and it's just pretty entertaining in general to shit on other creators and battles. But yeah, no, come hang out, everybody. I appreciate you all so much for being here. We're gonna go ahead and head over to It's Not Dean literally right now. So screenshot, copy, do whatever to get this in your TikTok search bar. I expect you to come out and hang out. Let's go ahead and hit a raid on myself. So spam Dean raid in the comment section as soon as I go live. I will see you in like 3 seconds, everybody. Goodbye. And thanks for hanging out today. Make sure to hit the follow button before you leave.